All right, let's stand and face Jerusalem. We're going to listen to the reader. We're going to recite Yah's prayer and get this Sabbath service going. Go ahead, my brother Mike.
Our Yahweh,
Our Yahweh,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
thy will be done,
as in heaven,
as in heaven,
so in earth.
so in earth.
Give us day by day
Give us day by day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our sins.
and forgive us our sins.
For we also forgive everyone
For we also forgive everyone
that is indebted to us.
that is indebted to us.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Yahweh's name we pray.
In Yahweh's name we pray.
Yah bless.
God bless.
All right, sisters and brothers, we're going to have a couple selections. One from our choir and then one from our sister Lala Music. So give us just a moment and we'll have a couple choir selections and we'll get into the lesson.
Shabbat shalom, my sisters and brothers. Shabbat shalom. Wherever you at, throughout the four corners of the world, give them stand up, give the Lord some praise, because we all need it.
We need you, Lord. Come in, please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you.
We need you, Lord. Our people out here dying every day, lost in this world, just wasting away. No one seems to care. Are you really there? Help us now, Lord, the struggle we can't bear.
What is this we have to face? Remove us now from this place. You said if we call, you wouldn't let us fall. Please, oh Lord, take us from it all. We need you, Lord. Come in. Please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you.
We need you, Lord. We are crying out to you, oh Lord. The enemy, he's coming to destroy. How could this be so? We feel left alone. Help us now, Lord, we can't carry on.
What is this we have to face? Remove us now from this place. You said if we call, you wouldn't let us fall. Please, oh Lord, take us from it all. We need you, Lord. Come in. Please save us, Lord. We don't know what else to do. We're tired now. We're calling you. We need you, Lord. Crying out to you. Help us heal this land.
Nothing else to do
Nothing else to do.
but follow your command.
Follow your command.
We will turn,
from
Lord, our wicked ways.
our wicked ways.
Help us please the
Help
Lord.
us please the Lord.
Lord, we need you
We
today.
need you today. What is this we have to face? Remove us now from this place. You said if we call, you wouldn't let us fall. Please, oh Lord, take us from it all. We need you, Lord. Come in.
Please save us, Lord.
Please save us, Lord. We don't
Know
know
what else to do.
what else to do.
tired now.
We're tired now.
Lord, we're calling you.
We're calling you.
We need you. We need you, Lord. Come in.
Come in.
Lord, and save us.
Please save us, Lord.
Lord, we don't know what else to
We
do.
don't know what else.
But Lord, we're tired now.
We're tired now.
Lord, we're calling you.
Calling you.
We,
Crying out to you.
Lord, help us heal this
Help
land.
us heal this land.
There's nothing else to do
Nothing else to do.
but follow your command.
Follow your command.
Lord, we will turn,
We will turn from our
Lord, our wicked ways.
our wicked ways. Help us, please, the Lord. We need you today.
Praise God.
All right, Shabbat Shalom. So this song is titled "The Doctrines of Man." So really, we just trying to wake up the people to follow the Most High Yah and not man's tradition. So if you haven't heard the song, listen closely to the lyrics. I pray that this will edify those who are watching. You turn it up. Y'all know what to sing with me.
The doctrines of man, fables and sin. The doctrines of man, in vain they worship him. Doctrines of man, fables and sin. The doctrines of man, in vain they worship him. Tired of these old lies, the truth will be told today. It's about time for me to expose these heresies. You worship him on Sunday. Oh no, but that is wrong. God gave you his Sabbath day for you to worship on. Why is it so hard to obey? Why is it so hard to explain? Why is it they like these lies? Why is it the truth is despised?
Sing with me, y'all.
Fables and sin, the doctrines of man. In vain they worship him. Doctrines of man. Fables and sin, doctrines of man. In vain they worship him. Tired of these fables spreading all in the church. These people are blinded, confused on which God to serve. You celebrate man's holidays. Oh no, but that is wrong. God gave you his feast days to celebrate on. Why is it so hard to obey? Why is it so hard to explain? Why is it they like these lies? Why is it the truth is despised? Sing with me. Fables and sin, the doctrines of man. In vain they worship him. Doctrines of man. Fables and sin, the doctrines of man. In vain they worship him. They all say you go to heaven when you die, but you're put back in the ground, so that's a lie.
Wake up.
No man has seen the Father but Yahweh shine. And when he comes back to wake you, then you will rise. Stop listening to these lies. Woo! Sing it quiet. The doctrines, in vain they worship him.
Keep going, y'all.
Praise God. Doctrines of men, fables, and sin.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Doctrines of men and they that worship them.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, indeed.
Right, sister, brother. Praise God. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Go ahead, Mike.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yep, yep. Good, sisters and brothers. Come on in. All right. Praise God. Hallelujah. Everybody get seated and situated. To my sisters and brothers that's on social media, we do apologize for the late start. We had a few technical issues, but the devil is a lie.
That's right.
Amen. So give us just a few minutes. We'll get this lesson started. Obviously, when we bring out the word, there are plenty of obstacles that would get in our way, but we'll push through nonetheless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nonetheless. All right, sisters and brothers, I want to welcome you to another Shabbat of the Most High Yah. Welcome to the Multitude of Christ Ministry. Here we seek to teach all nations of people how to find true salvation according to the Holy Scriptures. My name is Pastor Johnny. My reader today will be Brother Michael.
Shalom, shalom.
And without further ado, we'll get into our lesson, which is titled, "'Tis the Season.
Yes.
Be no more children." 'Tis the season. Be no more children. Before we get going, I'm going to ask Brother Michael to open us up with a word of prayer. We're going to remove all obstacles so that we can receive the word without hindrance, sisters and brothers. Amen. So if you wouldn't mind, wherever you're at, just stop moving, bow your heads. Let's entreat the Most High Yah to open our hearts and our minds to receive this word. Go ahead, my brother.
Yahweh Most High, we come to you again on your Sabbath day saying thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to make it to your Sabbath of rest.
Yes,
This is your day.
Yes, it is.
It is the day that you set aside and set apart for your people so that we would know that we are your people and you are our God.
Yes.
We thank you for allowing us to come into the truth of your word.
Yes.
We ask you to forgive us for sins we may have committed unknowingly. We ask that you be with those who had a mind to be here, but were not able to.
Yes.
We ask that you be with them also on your Sabbath day.
Yes.
I ask that you allow me to read boldly your word. And I ask that you allow Pastor to speak boldly so that your people can be edified in your name, Yahweh, and your son, Yahweh Shai.
Yes.
We thank you. We thank you.
Thank you.
For all the many blessings that you have bestowed upon us, even when we don't realize that you are blessing us. We thank you.
Wow.
We thank you because so many don't have the things that we do.
That's right.
We understand that you are the Most High God, and you are the Most High God alone,
None other.
and there are none other like you.
Yes.
We thank you again, Most High Yah. In Yahweh Shai's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Good prayer, sisters and brothers. I'm going to take it right there. where he left off, sisters and brothers. And I'm going to ask you, those of you who follow our ministry in sincerity, I would ask you that if you're ever in the local DFW area, please come visit us here at 902 St. Paul Drive here in Richardson, Texas. We would love to have you. And right now, before I even get into this lesson, I'm letting you know right now that I know this is the season, all the families together. So I'm asking you right now to like, subscribe, hit the bell, share it, call them, email, tell your family and friends to get online, because there is nothing better that they need to be hearing than the Word of God in this lesson that we're about to bring out. And if you want to preview it first and then share it and have them watch it, you can do that too. But I promise you, the information that we have here that I'm going to bring out to you, it's going to be edifying. It's going to remove the spell off of you, sisters and brothers. And I ask all those things in Yahweh's name, and I say, let it be so. Amen.
Let it be so.
And so we're going to get right into it, because I know the devil tried to rob us of about 30 minutes just trying to get our technical. We're trying to use new systems to get online. It didn't work this Sabbath, but hey, 3 Sabbaths is a prayer we're going to get answered, right?
Yes,
3 is a good number. So by next Shabbat, we should be rolling with the new sound system and a new video where you can just hear us, not from an external sound, but you can hear us through the system. Amen. So we just ask all those things in the Most High Yah's name. So here's my disclaimer right off the top. I love my family. The Most High Yah is all about family.
Yes.
It is one of the first things he commanded and instituted right off the top. So I want to shake that spell off of everyone or anyone watching that would think that the Most High God is a Debbie Downer and he don't want you to have fun and he's not about you and your family coming together to have a good time. That is on the contrary. That is not what this is about. This is not about us trying to find as many things as we can tell you so we can ruin your fun. Hey, if I have to stop, you have to stop. If he didn't command me to do it, he didn't command you to do it. We just need to just get a baseline right now, and we're not teaching anything that's not in this book. The question has to be asked is, am I obedient or not? That's the question, brother.
Yes.
I had to answer it. My wife, my children, and you have to answer it. I'm not no better than you, and you're no different than me. If I have to stop at the stop sign, so do you, right? If the green light says go, I go and you go, right? So why is it not the same with the Word of God? Why are we so disobedient and everybody got so many perspectives when it comes to the Scripture? Well, you know, at the multitude of Christ, we just cut out all the chasers and we give you exactly what you need to heal yourself. We're not playing no games. I never wanted anybody to play no games. Don't hustle. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me what I need to do to stay out of trouble, teacher. Coach, tell me what I need to do to get on the field. Don't be patty caking, right? Don't have one coach say one thing and another coach say another and you sitting on the bench. They could have both been telling a lie, right? I want to know what the head coach said. What does the Most High Yah say I need to do to win the game? We all want to make it in the kingdom, right?
Praise Yah.
We all want to, right? Don't you, sister and brother? Well, listen. Here's a lesson for the season, because I know many families are gathering this week. Everybody's off this week. Why is everybody off? We're going to get right into it, sister and brother. Why is everybody off? Hey, if you off because you off, then that's one thing.
Right.
But if you're trying to give credit to Christ, you might be disillusioned. And if you're a grown up still thinking somebody in a red suit coming down the chimney,
Right.
you even more crazier than people say you are.
Wrong somewhere, bro.
Something's wrong.
Yes, sir.
So, 'tis the season. That's about all the cheer and merry you're going to get when it comes to this week and this holiday. So let's go to Galatians chapter 4. Galatians chapter 4. Let's get some foundation before we take off. You got your pen, you got your paper, you got your Bibles. I know everybody I'm looking at does. Well, you who are watching, you should have your pen, your paper, your smartphone, your memos open, your computer, your laptop, ready to take notes, ready to make sure and prove that the information that I'm bringing forth is valid and it can be used to help you make it into the kingdom. There's nothing that we get on here talking about that is not, the purpose is not to get you in the kingdom. Huh? There's nothing that I'm going to bring forth that is not going to be medicine to heal you, sisters and brothers. Galatians chapter 4, we're going to read one verse, verse 16. Go ahead.
Am I therefore become your enemy? Because I tell you the truth?
I want you, I bring this out like every lesson I can,
Right.
because there is some kind of rumor going around, and there's a perception that if you read this Bible, you're the enemy of your relative.
Yeah.
Or who wants their grandmama to be mad at them? Who wants their uncle that's a preacher to be mad at them? Who wants their sisters and brothers not to talk to them?
Yeah.
Nobody wishes that to be, but you know what the Messiah said? Your enemies will be those of your own household.
That's right. That's right.
That's what the scriptures say, right? So I'm not surprised. You have to have 1,000 people calling you. Everybody wanting to hang out at your house. The scriptures say, hey, when you are a true speaker, when you speaking what Christ said, when you saying what Paul said, man, everybody ain't gonna like you, because everybody don't like to be rebuked. Everybody don't like to be reproved. Let me say it another way. Nobody wants to be told what to do.
Yeah.
But this book is about order.
Yes, sir.
All he demands is us to be obedient. But aha, there go the problem. Nobody wants to stop at every stop sign.
No. Stop the road.
Nobody wants to go 25 through every school zone, right? You just break a little law here, break a little law there. It makes you a lawbreaker. You don't have to shoot nobody. You're still a criminal. You're still breaking the commandment of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Or you breaking the commandment of the government or the state, whoever set that statute. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But you don't run around making them your enemy because they established the law of the land. So why would the preachers of the Most High be your enemy? Or why would I, your brother? If it ain't the person that love you to rebuke you, who's going to rebuke you? You're not going to listen to nobody you don't like, or nobody that's not like you, or in your community, or in your group. You don't listen to nobody outside of that. See, back in the day, we had disagreements. You used to go off in the backyard. Huh? You don't like what Uncle said, cousin said, well, let's go out back. I remember when I was 15, man, somebody walked up on my grandma's land, and I went out there, and he tried to wrestle me and tussle me. I slammed him in the dirt. I looked back, my grandma on the porch and said, "Get him, baby." That's how you settle discrepancies. You know what I'm saying? You out in the country.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do nothing, man. You don't need no gloves. You don't need nothing. Get out there, square up, shoot the fade, and then let's go eat.
Let's go eat.
Huh? All love. You got me. You up.
Yeah.
I know that guy right there, I can't beat him. That girl right there, my cousin, Bam Bam, she knocking people out. I will fool with her. Right? You know what I'm saying? Shamika, Shaquita, Yellow, whatever nickname you got for them, you don't mess with them.
Yeah.
They don't become your enemy because you went out there and shot the fade, you lost, go clean the blood up, don't come in grandma or mama house dirty. And let's go play Rock'em Sock'em Robots, or let's get the Atari out. Let's get the Nintendo out, right? It was love. But now all of a sudden in the 21st century, you can't tell nobody nothing
No, sir.
without them feeling in their feelings. Huh? My grandmama would kick everybody out. Get out of my house. Huh? What are you whining about? You know we told you not to do A, B, and C, so your cousin told you not to do. Hey, get out. Go walk. Go take a walk. Go do something. Get out of my face. That's how the Most High feel, man. None of his people want to be rebuked, but everybody like, hallelujah. The people that tell you the truth from now all of a sudden become your enemy, and those people that lie to you, you love them. They're your friends. That's my sister. That's my brother. They listen to all my lies and they put up with all my fakeness. That's my homegirl right there, man. Real, see it. But I'm not your enemy because I tell you the truth, sisters and brothers. Let's go to John 8:32. I don't want to belabor it. I want to get back in it because everybody right now is nestled around the fireplace if you got it. And if you grew up like I did, everybody in the kitchen, got the oven open, heating up the whole house, right?
Yeah.
Trying to see if Big Mama, somebody making some eggs and some pancakes. We 3 days, 2 days away from Christmas. Everybody getting their nutmeg, Everybody got some nutmeg in there, man. Where did we learn this stuff from? We come off slave ships.
Right.
What we know about nutmeg? What's that cracker called? What's the nutcracker?
The nutcracker.
What we know about nutcrackers and mistletoes and what we know about wreaths? Man, we slaves. The wreaths grow in Africa? Africa hot. I don't know where you find a wreath in Northeast Africa.
Or you gonna find no mistletoe either.
Or mistletoe. I don't know where we find any of that if we come off the Sub-Sahara or Northeast, Middle Eastern area. I don't know where we find that stuff in the desert.
I don't know.
John 8:32, go ahead.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
You the one that said you wanted to be free, or do you just want to still believe the lies and stay captive in your mind? It's up to you. I'm just going to teach the truth, and you and your Most High, or you and your God, because everybody got their own relationship with their own God, y'all figure it out. But if you hold in this book, I'm going to have something to say. And the Most High said, if you get a rebuke by your sister and brother, you should be humble down. Make sure you're not proud and lifted up, man, because you might find yourself in a lake of fire. And he say, hey, I sent so-and-so to tell you. You didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to listen. Why? Can you imagine on Judgment Day sit up there trying to lie to the Most High? And his angel sitting there like, nah, that ain't what happened. That ain't what happened on June 3rd at 4:30 p.m. and 55 seconds. You know what I mean? They got it down to the T. Boom. Pinpoint. You heard the truth. You rejected the truth, right?
Yes, sir.
So don't hate me. I'm just reading, and everything is through history, through books. It can be verified. Hey, check me, right? Check the checker, right? What your teachers tell you. Pass your paper to the person behind you or to the side of you and let them check your work, right?
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do is hand it up to that cute girl or to the homeboy that's always talking smack, right? Because you was going to be embarrassed if you had an F, if you done missed 9 out of 10. She just going to hand the paper to you like this. You like, oh man, she ain't ever going to talk to me.
Uh-oh.
And then you hand it to your homeboy, and the first thing you hear him say, every time he marked that paper, he just giggling and laughing, showing everybody, hey, that boy slow. That boy ain't got none of the questions right.
Nothing right.
That's not what we doing here. We're not pointing out everything that's being done wrong, because we was taught the same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
The Most High and his angels, they're the ones judging and recording. We just trying to endure it to the end, right? I'm just trying to give you some examples of real life, right? Every one of us is sat in that classroom, sat in that desk, and pass your papers forward, pass your papers back. You like, uh-oh. And then you try to turn it to them, turn it down.
Yeah.
When the person doesn't get it, flip it back over, look at it. I want to see what he got.
Yeah.
I want to see what she got, right? So, 'tis the season. I got a couple questions for him, Brother Mike.
Okay.
So, it's Christmas in this holiday season, right? Because there's people that'll tell you ain't even American. You unpatriotic because you don't keep holidays.
Right.
So is the holidays, is it about tradition? Is it about customs? Is it about the turkey, the honey baked ham? Is it about the mistletoe? Is it about putting the tree together? Is we make the popcorn strings and mom makes us, all the kids make their own ornaments. Those are traditions and customs. Is that what it's about? Is it about the birth of Christ? Was he really born on the 25th?
Right.
I mean, was he? Nope. You're a grown up. You asking questions. Are you asking questions? Are you? Is it about the birth of Christ, or is it a tradition and a custom? Is it about the children? It's about the children, right? They started Black Friday. Heck, they started in July with the discount sales. Everybody put it on layaway, or I can't afford it until December 24th, right? And then you got people that don't got it, and they debate all the way to December the 24th before the store closed. Do I want to max out my debit cards? So is it really about the children? Nope. Is it about family time? Huh? Well, they make it so easy for you to break the commandments because they let everybody off work.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody, but majority of people have been indoctrinated into being off work during this seasonal time, right? So is it about tradition, custom? Is it about the birth of Christ? Is it about the children? Is it about family time? It was when we all come together, we sit around Big Mama table and we all say grace and then we pass out and watch football all day. That sounds like what you do on Thanksgiving. So every holiday, every day off, does the family come together every time you off work? No, just around these days that you made holy, right? Or is it about the gifts? It's about the gifts, and Most High forgive everybody that don't give you a Secret Santa gift under the tree.
Oh, man.
Huh? They indoctrinate you at church. You're indoctrinated at work.
Yeah.
The kids indoctrinated at school. They don't sell candy canes no other time of the year except after Black Friday and all the way to after New Year's. They try to get rid of the boxes.
Yeah, that's it.
They mark them down, 50 cents. Get rid of these candy canes. We do not want this.
They're going to bring them back on Valentine's.
It's seasonal. They're not, try to bring them on Valentine's. It's kind of like pumpkins. You don't ever see no pumpkins being sold until a certain time of year, right? So it's all about buying and selling, right? But the most argument now, I was talking to a relative, and man, they really think it's about Jesus. It's about baby Jesus being born in the manger. When did that story start to be told? Because for hundreds of years, it was all about Santa.
Yeah.
Saint Nicholas. Bringing gifts to the kids. Bringing gifts to the little kids. Oh, I didn't slip, did I?
No, yes, no, tell the truth.
True.
Shame
The
the devil. Shame it.
My question is, are you seeking truth to be free, or are you just trying to memorize enough scriptures to look holy?
That's what it is.
You play in church, but your immortal soul is at stake with the Most High.
Teach.
But church has been the biggest culprit of indoctrinating us.
Yes, sir.
Right.
We driving down the church, down to the Sabbath this morning, and we look over, and it looked like the North Pole. One of these big churches got it fenced off, looked like playland.
Man.
Oh, man.
Big gingerbread houses and gingerbread. They just made a whole Christmas scene. It's Texas. It ain't snowing. We just came from Illinois and Missouri. It's snowing.
Yeah, it's
When we
snowing
get here to North Texas, ain't no snow on the ground, but everything over there look white. It's all fenced off, and it got like the little fake snow. Everything look like we was in Montana.
Oh, man.
So what is the season about? I'm a grown up, so you got to talk to grown people with some sense. You know what I'm saying? What does a 30, 40, 50-year-old person look like talking about, yeah, man, we're going to put the Christmas tree together, we're going to decorate, and we're going to put lights up, and hey, didn't your parents tell you that it was made up?
That's right.
It wasn't real. How old were you when you found out that wasn't nobody coming down the chimney putting gifts under the tree? That was mama, daddy, or big mama. Huh? And if Big Mama didn't have no money, she's down at the Salvation Army and had some toy drive trying to get some toys for some little sniffling kids that was going to break it.
That's true.
Toy going to be broke before sundown. So what is it about? It's a commercial on right now. Little girl in a paper box pretending like she a spaceship, right? Yeah. She all flying through the house, grandma ducking around, and then the commercial end, she in a paper box, and her mom walks by and said, I should have just bought the box. Don't some of you feel that way? You should feel so simple sometimes. Still putting gifts under the tree, and the kid is playing with the wrapper and the box it came in.
Yeah.
Not the toy.
Right, right.
The toy over there, the kids is playing in the box.
Sure.
Why did you waste that money and max out your credit card? What is the season about? Growing up, you're supposed to be spiritually mature in the word. You're supposed to have some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yeah.
Why are you still playing kiddie games? Why not just tell your kids the truth? They can handle it. Because they going to school 8 hours a day, learning nothing but lies. And then when they come home, mom and daddy still lying to them. Taking to church, everybody in church lying to them. Huh? What you get for Christmas, little Timmy? My kid would say, he don't keep no Christmas. That's a lie.
True.
Absolutely.
Jesus wasn't born on the 25th. Did Jesus even tell you to keep and celebrate his birthday?
Did he celebrate his birthday?
Did anybody in the Bible celebrate their birthday?
Not at all. Not at all.
Herod.
No, we're not talking about the enemies of Israel. Yeah, somebody celebrated their birthdays in the Bible, but was it the children of God?
No,
Right.
no, not at all.
I didn't want to spend that much time on that slide. Let's keep going. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, we're going to read one verse. I'm not your enemy, sisters and brothers. But when I found out the truth, or I found out anybody was lying to me, I make it my personal mission to verify, was it a lie or the truth.
Absolutely.
You want to say somebody's your enemy, it should be the people that's lying to you.
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's who you determine. And they can come in any shade and any color. They could be rich, they could be poor, but when people are looking you in your face and point blank lying to you, they will kill you. You are unimportant to them. But somebody will tell you the truth and you ready to shoot the fade. You ready to get on that smoke. Why? Because I told you you was a thief. I told you to quit lying, quit talking about people. Jesus did. They wasn't born on the 25th.
That's right.
If I tell you the truth, that don't make me the enemy. It just means you need to go do some more research.
Yeah.
You need to go to the library and dust off that library card and have access to the whole world nowadays. You can do it from your smartphone, but if you want to go to the library, you got the actual book.
That's right.
And you can read it. Right? Ecclesiastes 3:1. Go ahead.
To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose.
Yes.
Under the heaven.
I'm not going to read all of that. I know many think he should just keep reading. But what the point is there is a season and a time and a purpose under heaven for everything. And I want to know, in the Bible, is Christmas in there? Is the celebration of the birth of the Messiah in there? Is that a season? Is that a festive thing? You're like, we don't do Christmas trees. We don't put up mistletoes. We don't do anything. We go to church and it's about Christ. I'm gonna get that too. Because many of you are still trying to, you trying to keep Christmas, but you want to remove all the pagan worship and then still put the pagan worship of the 25th. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. Just because you removed all the decorations, the day, the season itself is pagan.
That's right.
Because they're in the scriptures, the season and the time and the festivals we should keep is already outlined.
That's right.
But if your pastor is not reading the Old Testament, you'll never know it. You won't even understand some of the things the Messiah is doing in the New Testament because your pastor ain't read the Old Testament. Or you didn't read it and verify it yourself.
Exactly.
So you confused. But you know what confused people do in the 21st century? They like to argue.
Yeah.
They like to argue because they don't like to be wrong and they don't like to not know something, my brother.
Yeah.
So they'd rather just start an argument and a fight.
Yeah.
So they don't look weak or inferior or like they didn't know. But then as soon as they go home, they gonna, talk to their husband or wife and then they're gonna start digging in and like, he was right, but anyways, right? And when you find out you're wrong, ain't that what they do? But anyways, I'm still trying to make my point. Your point didn't matter because you was wrong.
Absolutely.
You was on the opposite side of the argument. Your point lost, but you still want to be right. But anyways, it don't matter if he was right. Well, this is what we're going to do anyway. We're going to keep sinning. We're going to keep sinning. You know what I mean? Yeah, I heard all that stuff in all the books they was reading, but I'm not going to go read any of that, and I'm not going to prove any of it, but this is just what we're going to do.
You only get one life, man.
One life.
You only live once.
That's just ruin it. You just ruin your life. Live it up. That's the deal that Satan gave Christ.
Yeah.
Live it up. Do what y'all will. YOLO. YOLO dolo. Everything is already a season set. He already gave us commandments of what he wanted us to do. Why can't we just be obedient children? What do you do to your children when they disobey?
Yeah.
Go get in the corner, Johnny. Johnny looks at you and says, shut up. Then what do? Don't talk to me that way. I talk to you any way I want. I'm warning you. Warn me again. I'm warning you. Is that how the conversation goes? You think the Most High gonna have a conversation with us like that?
Don't have it like that, bro.
Huh?
You ain't have it like that, bro.
When you was raised, for the 35s and up, when you was raised, did your conversation go like that with your mama, your daddy, your big mama, your foster parent? I don't care. Somebody raised you. Did they allow you to talk to them that way?
No, sir.
So why do we want to disobey when the Most High clearly put in the seasons? He even told you the sun, moon, and stars was to help you keep track of seasons, and you don't want to know none of it because somebody, I want to kiss some of the mistletoe. We make our decorations. Me and Mom sit and we cut and we schnitzel, huh? We pop popcorn and we just eat it, nestle by the fire. What tradition is that? Man, if you in Africa, do you really need a fire? I guess it could be cold at night, but you need snow for the sled to come down with the little reindeers. Reindeers fly? Reindeers fly. Reindeers fly. Grown-ups still looking at you like reindeers fly. Reindeer got red nose. Got little elves walk around talking. Fables of sin with doctrines of man. We grew up on it, right? Get the apocrypha for me, brother.
Yes,
So there's a season for everything under heaven.
Yeah.
He gave us everything we needed to know, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 33. Ecclesiastes chapter 33. We're going to read verses 7 through 9. The Bible, the scriptures tell us everything we need to know. But why you see a church on every corner is because everybody wants to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they give you a lot of options, right?
Yeah.
It's like Black Friday. You open that paper, and it's like it's too many discounts. Everybody got one. I got too much stuff online, right? You ain't got to do nothing but talk by your phone. Next thing you know, you get a discount pop up.
Yeah.
How the heck the phone know I was just talking about some tub stoppers?
Yeah.
I needed a plunger for the bathroom, and now next thing you know, you got a plunger on Facebook. How my phone know I was just talking to Mike about plungers?
Yeah.
Huh?
They don't call no smartphone.
Man, I mess up my glasses. I need the right kind of screw to put my glasses back together. Next thing you know, like, bing, be up on your TV or something. It'd be like a commercial come on. It's like, how they know we was just talking about getting some pizza? Next you know, be about 3-4 pizza commercials on. How do they know? Because they've given you seasons, and they are manipulating and marketing and advertising to you according to the technology they got to control you. But the Most High already gave us what makes him happy. All we got to do is do what makes him happy. Do his will, right? What did it say, brother? Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 33, verse 7. Go ahead.
Why does one day excel another?
Why does one day excel another? Have you ever asked, hey, God, why is the seventh day important? Why is there seasons and feast days? Why does the moon move like that? Why does the sun move like that? You're not asking no questions because from K through 12, they tell you what to think. They tell you what's out in the atmosphere. They tell you what makes them feel comfortable because you know what? I come to the conclusion that if you know the truth about the world and the atmosphere, and if you really know that there's demons and really lakes of fire and stuff like that, you might just die of a heart attack. So man just makes up things to keep you comfortable in your delusion.
Yeah.
You might not be ready for the truth because you don't ask no questions. Christmas time, I can't wait. The job's ready. You show up, they got everybody's cubicle decorated, and you're like, wait a minute. Who told you to touch my stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we just do this. Who is we? The boss told you to do that? No, me and Sarah and Jane. Look, you and Sarah and Jane gonna take that stuff off my desk. I didn't ask y'all to put that stuff on there. Y'all keep y'all seasons over there. You know what I mean? That ain't what I don't keep those days. Oh my goodness, Johnny.
Why is there a problem with me? You ain't read the scriptures? I go to church. I didn't ask you if you went to church. I said, do you read the Bible? Because if you read the Bible, you wouldn't be so angry at me, because I'm not the enemy, because I don't want your decorations. You might just be the enemy of God and you don't even know it. But ain't nobody asking questions. Why does one day excel another? Go ahead.
When there's all the light of every day in the year is of the sun.
Man, nobody asks no questions about the sun, but the powers that be actually worship it. But you don't want to talk about that while y'all go to church on the first day, and it's called Sunday.
Yep.
Hey, go ahead.
By the knowledge of the Lord.
By the knowledge of the Most High, this is the only way you're going to get a question answered, because man is all about science and scientific and theological and theories and this and that and atoms and boom and metamorphosis and man sound crazy. When it's just a simple answer, God did it. Go ahead.
By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished.
The days were distinguished one from another. In the beginning, it was day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day Shabbat, day 7. Go ahead.
And he altered seasons and feasts.
Seasons and feasts. You learn in school there's spring, summer, winter, fall. Well, that's in the Bible. That's common knowledge. Everybody from beginning of time knew that. But what's the last part of that?
Some of them hath he made high days.
No, start the end of 8 again for me.
Oh, sorry. He altered seasons and feasts.
Whoa, key word, feast. How long you been going to church? Why you don't know about the feast of the Lord?
That's how you read.
Your pastor got you doing everything that keeps him comfortable, being a great old American and being patriotic, and Valentine's and Memorial Day, you're celebrating the 4th of July, and you're keeping everything except the feast of the Lord, but you say you're a child of God. But you're doing everything the world. He said love not the world. You're doing everything the world say, and you ain't doing nothing the Lord say. I'm confused. So what Christ do you serve on Christmas? Go ahead, verse 9.
Some of them hath he made high days.
So some of the days throughout the seasons of the year, there is some high days. That means there's more important days than other days in the season. Go ahead.
And hallowed them. And some of them hath he made ordinary days.
There's ordinary days and there's high days. Did your pastor ever tell you that? Who told you that the Christmas season or Thanksgiving was a high day that we give thanks to the Lord for? What are you really giving thanks for Thanksgiving? Do you know? Do you know the history of it? Because if you did, you wouldn't be looking mad at me. You wouldn't be trying to decorate and put all kind of fall leaves on my desk. If you knew what Christmas really was, or New Year's, that New Year's ain't really the beginning of nothing new, you wouldn't be looking at me crazy. You wouldn't be acting like you know everything. Because it's not about knowing everything, it's about knowing the truth.
That's right.
And being obedient to it.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep going. Let's go to Leviticus 23. Let's look at some of these higher days than other days, right? Leviticus chapter 23. 'Tis the season. This is a very sinful season. Because you're going to find out of all the high days that are separated from the ordinary days, this time of the year is really not significant because everything's dead.
Right.
All the trees, all the leaves are down, the grass is brown, ain't nothing living, all the animals is gone, mosquitoes is gone, ain't nothing out. Everything is hiding underground and in caves, right? It's dead season. Y'all trying to make things alive when things are dead, recovering. Wrong time of season. But we're going to read just 1 through 4. Because I want you to read Leviticus 23 on your own time. I don't have time. This ain't the lesson to go through all the feasts of the Lord. Because if you didn't know them, then that's for you to study. And because you got to have your own relationship with the Most High.
Show yourself approved.
You should, when I'm bringing things out, you should be like, man, I know that. That's good. Oh, I didn't know that. Let me add that to my arsenal so I can strengthen my faith. Because what is it that you believe in if you're not strong and you don't have no evidence when somebody questions you, right? You got to be able to go to things and cite things so people can do what? Shut up.
You arguing about something you ain't ever even studied.
Yeah.
I never wondered why people argue and they're not citing nothing but what they think. And they can't show you or direct you nowhere to go study that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not gonna argue with somebody that is just giving their own opinion about something they've never researched. And you can ask a couple questions to find out if they've ever researched, like, where you learned that from? Well, I just heard it somewhere. Man, we ain't talking no more. We're done talking. Leviticus 23:1. Listen at these high days. Go ahead.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Yes.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Yep.
and say unto them,
Say what?
concerning the feast of the Lord.
The feast of who?
The Lord.
See, somebody told you those was old Mosaic feasts.
Yeah.
Somebody lied to you. Somebody lied to the body. Y'all remember that lesson? Somebody's out here lying. They got big old steeples. They got 2,000, 5,000 seats, and everybody in there smell like Bed Bath & Beyond, like they got a bunch of money, and they just lying. Bunch of dead carcasses spiritually walking around in a big old building because somebody lying to them. And they love it. They waiting for their Christmas special. Can't wait till the 24th. We're going to have a Christmas Eve major special.
They got to play.
A play. Yeah, we got a little play. You know, we're going to have some choirs come sing. It's going to be a big production of lies. Go ahead. Sorry, brother.
Which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
So Moses is supposed to proclaim to the people, because book is about Israel. We don't teach supersessionism. This Bible doesn't teach supersessionism. The children of Israel have never and never will be replaced by anybody.
That's right.
If anybody's going to be grafted in, you're going to be grafted in.
Yeah.
And your thought process is anti-Christ because Christ never told you to celebrate his birthday, and you can't prove that it was on the 25th.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Even these are my feasts.
So he got feast days. He got high days. Go ahead.
6 days shall work be done.
See, go ahead.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
It's hallowed. It's higher than day 1 through 6.
Yes, sir.
The 7th day is higher than 1 through 6. Go ahead.
And holy convocation.
You have a holy convocation, means you come together and you have so-called church. Go ahead.
You shall do no work therein.
You don't do no work on those high days. Go ahead.
It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
Sabbath in all your dwellings, wherever you're at, if you have some spiritual understanding. Go ahead.
These are the feasts of the Lord.
These are Moses' feasts.
The feast of the Lord.
These are the multitude of Christ feasts.
Feast of the Lord.
These are the most high feasts.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Even holy convocation.
Even holy convocation when you come meet. See, we don't come meet to see each other. We come meet because he told us to meet.
That's right.
We obedient. I like seeing you, lady, but you supposed to be here and I'm supposed to be here. Us coming together and you say, man, you're obedient and I'm obedient. I'm around somebody that's trying to do right.
That's right.
All the empty chairs tell you something's going on with your sisters and brothers.
Yes, sir.
Because we commanded to have holy convocations when? On high days. Not every ordinary day. You can meet on every ordinary day, but he has set seasons and times for us to come together.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Which ye shall proclaim in their season.
We're going to proclaim them in their season, and I'm telling you, this one ain't one.
This ain't it.
All of December, it ain't one that's the feast of the Lord. It can be the feast of the people, but it ain't the feast of the Lord which he proclaimed. I can proclaim anything I want, and as the multitude of Christ, we do it, right? But that don't mean the Lord. I can't sit here and say, the Lord gave me a vision. That on the 15th odd day of the 12th month, we are going to come together.
Yeah.
We're going to have a potluck, bounce houses. We're going to have some donkey rides. I mean, I don't care where we're going to make this big old gingerbread city.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can just sit here and make up a bunch of stuff, but you're not going to find it in the scriptures, in the scrolls.
That's right.
That don't make it holy to the Most High Yah. It just means it's important to us.
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't proclaim it in no season. I picked the season.
Yeah.
Let's say what's not going on here, August. That ain't how the Most High does things, and that's not what he told Moses to tell the people, which is supposed to be proclaimed throughout your generation forever.
Forever.
Y'all follow me?
Yes, sir.
Let's keep going. So these days, if you keep reading Leviticus 23, this is not a lesson about the feast days, but we got some understanding that out of all of heaven, under heaven, there's seasons and times that serve a purpose. And there's high days and there's ordinary days, right? And then those high days are outlined in Leviticus 23, verses 1 on down to the end of the chapter, right? Some of these high days are Passover, which is 7 days. It's not 1 day and then 7. It's the Feast of Unleavened Bread, or the Feast of Passover, is 7 days. You got first fruits, Pentecost, blowing of trumpets, atonement, and then you have tabernacles, which is culminated by the 8th day of the Most High Yah, right? So question. Give God thanks by doing what he commanded you to do when he told you to do it. I think that's what we should be trying to figure out about the season we're in. Are we doing what he told us to do when he told us to do it? Well, if you've never heard of Leviticus 23, and you didn't know he said high days over ordinary days, and there's a time and a season and a purpose for everything, right? Are you a child of God? Are you a follower of the Mashiach, or are you anti-Mashiach? Are you a Christ follower, or are you an anti-Christ follower? It's based off your understanding of, did you know that there was a season and a time, and the Most High has feast days, festivals, time when you're supposed to come together with your family and celebrate. Not just your family, but like all the people that you congregate with. That's the traditions and the customs that he set up. Not every his date of birth. We're going to get to that. But the children are with you when you have holy convocations. Your family's together with you, right? So I'm trying to figure out, if the Most High already gave us festivals to keep, are you keeping those festivals? You looking at me crazy. You say you're a Christian. I say I'm a follower of the Messiah. I had an old boss that said that. Well, I'm a Christian too. Well, I said, have you ever read Leviticus? Do you know what the Sabbath day is? Yeah, it's Sunday. No, sir, it's not. No, sir, it's not. That's not the 7th day of the week. Right? So how do you know, and when you talk to people, you already know based off of what they do that they are not followers of the Mashiach. And it's really evident around holidays. Because the Bible calls them holy days. Holiday is just a perverted English word for holy days, meaning man has set their days and sanctified them holy above all other days. I said man did it. God didn't do it. He didn't institute none of these days. I got the paperwork proving on Thanksgiving that it was presidential order. They were celebrating Thanksgiving every time they killed an Indian tribe. In each state, everybody was celebrating Thanksgiving on the anniversary of when they took over whatever Indian city that already existed. Did you hear me? Yeah. The cities already existed. Some of these cities that is in America, they've always been here. The people that live in the houses and the huts have just changed. Based off who came and removed them. Another lesson, right? But you're supposed to give God thanks by doing what he commanded you to do when he told you to do it. Are you doing it? All right, that's just the introduction. Y'all ready, sister and brother?
So,
let's get some definitions here. I don't have the other computer with my brother, but trust me, he's going to have a lot to read. He just need to get his throat ready. So definition I got for you is idolatry. You know, the whole Bible is always talking about idolaters. Idolatry. How do you know whether you're an idolater or not? So idolatry in the Webster's Dictionary is defined as the worship of idols or excessive devotion to or reverence for some person or a thing. Idolatry is excessive devotion. Listen, excessive devotion to a person or a thing. You know, like when you see women falling out crying when Michael Jackson walks by, that's idolatry. Michael! Oh my God!
You're right? You go to concerts, you see women throwing clothes on stage. That's idolatry. That's excessive devotion to a person or a thing.
Yeah.
Right? It says an idol is anything that replaces God.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're got excessive devotion, and if you put anything before God or before His commandments, you are committing idolatry.
That's right.
You can't put anything before the Most High Yah and what He commands you to do. It goes on to say, the most prevalent form of idolatry in the Bible times was the worship of images that were thought to embody the various pagan deities.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you ever heard of paganism, and do you know when you are worshiping a pagan deity? Would you know it? Like if you see something on a commercial and you just want to buy it, oh man, that's cool, man, I gotta get it. Do you know that image could be a pagan image? How would you know if your spiritual leader doesn't warn you about symbolism and he doesn't warn you about images? Because the Most High said don't do what? He said don't make, we're going to read it, I don't want to get ahead of myself. But he just said don't make any image. So idolatry would be the excessive devotional worship of any image. Right? So let's look at worship. Worship is defined as to honor or show reverence for as a divine being or supernatural power. Let's look at it another way. To reverent honor or homage paid to God or a sacred personage. You know, in this world, there's some people that they hold pretty sacred. You know, you remember what was that? Was it Barbershop? And it was like, don't you say nothing about Jesse Jackson. No, oh, you don't went too far talking about, not Harriet Tubman, but Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
You know, you've been there, you just been, some people just hold certain people to a high reverence, higher than the Most High God. You know what I mean? Or to any object regarded as sacred. Could you in your religion or your church that you go to or whatever you believe in, could you hold a certain image as sacred? It goes on to say, to treat someone or something with reverence or adoration as a deity. Sister, brother, I'm going somewhere. Because many of us was raised in church and they were teaching us idolatry and to worship images and we didn't even know it. Subconsciously, we believe things that we don't know that we believe until somebody calls us out on it. Like somebody would call you an idolater and you're like, what are you talking about? Well, you worship that thing. You always got that thing or that image, right? You hold that sacred as if it holds some spiritual power. Mm-hmm. So is there anything that you have on you or in your house that if somebody came and dropped it or kicked it or threw it in the trash, you would go crazy? Do you hold something highly sacred? Let's go to Exodus. With that being said, let's go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. We'll start at verse 1. Do you hold? What was the question we asked? Was it about tradition, customs? Was it about the birth of Christ? Was it about family? Was it about gifts? Like, do you hold things to be more sacred? And to the Most High God, they mean nothing. But to you, it means something.
Right.
And if somebody says they're not doing it, you're going off the handle. You're on 10.
Yeah.
But to the Most High God, it could mean nothing. Exodus 20, verse 1. Go ahead. Listen to this, sister, brother.
And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelled between Kadesh.
Pause. Exodus 20, verse 1.
I'm sorry.
Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 when you get it. Go ahead, brother.
And God spake all these words, saying,
Yes, sir.
I am the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
This is the Most High talking to man. Listen. Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Has anybody in any religion or in our churches ever made an image and make us hold it sacred? They've done it, right? Do you still hold it sacred? Are you still committing idolatry? Well, if you never read the Old Testament, you might still be in idolatry.
Yeah.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
You're not even supposed to make any image of anything in heaven, not the clouds, not a throne, not a image of God, his son, his angels, right? But you see in churches, they got a whole mirage of mirrors and nothing but angels and prophets. And I mean, who gave them that image? He done took all the deacons in his church and now they the 12 apostles.
At the Lord's Supper.
They got the Lord's Supper, and that's, hey man, that's Jimbo and them, man. He got like 13 brothers, right? Like the artist is just drawn like a family with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And you come to service every week, and you're just looking at them and like, oh, that's so wonderful. And you're looking at people that like used to go to this church in the 1960s. But he said, don't make any image of anything in heaven that you can see on the earth, that's under the earth, in the water, anything made up out of anybody's imagination. We shouldn't be doing and holding it sacred and to worship it in reverence or in adoration. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Or that is in the earth beneath.
Yeah.
Or that is in the water underneath, under the earth.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
You like, I don't bow down to it. Yeah, you do.
Yes, you do.
Go ahead.
Nor serve them.
You serve them. You serve those images. Those images have become the replacement and the representation of something you can't see. Go ahead.
For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
He knew it was going to happen. He warned them. They've already been in Egypt 400 years with idolatry and images 100 feet high.
Yeah.
They walking around nothing but idolatry. Listen, I got y'all in this wilderness. Y'all need to shake back. Y'all need to break yourselves from that. I'm telling you, I'm commanding you, don't do what they do. He's warning them. Here's your commandment. Forever and ever, don't do what the heathens do.
That's right.
Heathens like making images of anything they can make up or anything they can see. And a little beetle bug. They got 200-foot beetle bug and worship it. Oh, great beetle bug. Come on, man. Go ahead.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Key point from that passage. The Most High Yah is very jealous. Yeah. That would make his son very jealous. And the orders from his angels dispatch, we're delivering a message that you do not want to fool with the Son or the Father. They're very jealous and they will send us to kill you. You know what I mean? Anybody talking to us like that? Anybody talking to you like that? That's why you're free to do. I got free will. If you knew free will came at a price, you wouldn't use so much of it.
That's right.
You got that rope extended so far. You done hung yourself 1,000 times over. Just taking a little inch. You took 5 miles, 20. Now you can't find your way back on your free will journey to do without will. What you saying? To do what you want to do. YOLO, I only live once. You know, you've killed yourself and damned yourself to eternal fire.
Absolutely.
Let's keep going. So let's get into our first book. Let's look at some of this idolatry and this idol worship. Let's get the occult book. This is a book, Occult Holidays, by Fred R. Coulter. We're going to read page 72.
Get you one of these people.
We're going to find out about this season, man. We're going to get in depth into this. 'Tis the season to be jolly holly. Jolly holly full of folly.
Okay.
What you saying, Pastor? We're not supposed to celebrate Christmas? Point blank.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, what you say? You knew it the whole time. You been playing crazy.
Yeah.
You know it ain't in the book. We're going to read page 72. We're going to read everything highlighted in the blue. Just that little bracket blue section. We're going to find out what's going on about this invisible sun, this person that we're actually worshiping on the 25th. Go ahead.
Therefore, the 25th of December.
What's that coming up? What's the day? The 21st? second, third, fourth. Oh, it's coming. By 4 days, you're gonna be Johnny Holly full of folly.
Already, Johnny Holly.
They've been on that nutmeg juice. They've been pulling people over already on the 20th. They're on that nutmeg juice.
Already, man.
Already leaning. Already leaning.
Already, man.
Full of that saturnalia that popping out. Go ahead.
Therefore, the 25th of December, the day that was observed at Rome as the day.
When? Where?
The day that was observed at Rome.
If y'all didn't watch my last Mist of the Week lesson, the one from Wednesday, you would know that it was a precursor to today.
Yeah.
And if you've been following us at all over the last 2 years, you would understand that there's a theme and a pattern that the Most High is showing people true salvation.
Yeah.
You are learning things you never learned before. All you got to do is be obedient. And I'm just trying to break the spell. I don't got to get in all these big lessons because on the simple things, we falling short.
Right.
Yes,
Deceiving ourselves on simple things that show up every day.
Every single day.
And like this season right here, people acting a plum fool right now.
Praise.
From running over each other on Good Friday, which wasn't good for nothing.
Man.
Not Good Friday, my apologies. Black Friday. Anything with black in front of it ain't good. That's why you better never call me black.
That's right.
I won't call you white. I won't call you yellow. I won't call you a color in the crayon box. I'll call you your name. That's why we got to get back to introducing ourselves to people. Right?
Yes,
And you shouldn't talk about nobody that you don't know their name. That's when you start using derogatory terms that don't fit. So, Black Friday, we done went from running over people and kicking babies down the aisle just to get a TV that's going to stop working in a year. Or to get a new phone that's going to be discontinued in 2 months. We just beating and fighting each other up for stuff that's outdated. They creating it to be outdated.
That's right.
Keep the demand high. If it works forever, we're not making money if you can keep that thing forever.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna start over again.
All right, my brother.
Therefore, the 25th of December, the day that was observed at Rome, as the day when the victorious God reaped upon earth.
The who?
The victorious God.
What did we find out the God of the Romans was Wednesday? Jupiter, Zeus. The Greeks, Jupiter. The Romans, Zeus. So, the invisible who?
The victorious God.
The victorious God of the
reappeared
Romans.
on earth.
Did what?
Reappeared on earth.
The invisible God reappeared on earth. Did you know the Romans and the Greeks and the Persians and the Babylon? You know, Egyptians, you know, everybody talks about an invisible God. But the Romans called his name Zeus.
Yeah.
And the Greeks called his name Jupiter.
Yeah.
But this Roman God shows up on December 25th. Not Jesus, but Zeus. Go ahead.
Was held at the Natalis Invedi Solus.
Natalis Invedi Solus. I don't speak Latin very well, but you need to look up Natalis Solus Invicta. Can you read that on the screen? That last line. You need to take a snapshot of it, zoom your smartphone, whatever you need to do, get a picture of that, and go look that up. And what you're going to find out is your season that you hold so high, many pagan religions have a deity whose birthday is on December 25th.
Yes, sir.
But you trying to attach it to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I got a problem with that.
That's right.
Go ahead.
The birthday.
The what?
The birthday.
Did y'all watch the Wednesday? Y'all better go back and watch Wednesday's lesson.
Okay.
Because children of God, we don't celebrate birthdays. You can't find it. And if you find it, it's the same pagan people that got false deities. They got you worshiping it just like they worship themselves and they fake gods. Go ahead.
Of the unconquered sun.
The unconquered sun, Zeus. You know how you see an image of, remember I told you, we ain't supposed to make no images. But every image you see of Christ, he got a big old sun in the back of his head.
What they call it, a halo.
A halo. A halo. Hell. You don't see nowhere it talk about no halo in the Bible.
For real.
That's a sun. That worship, that means sun worship.
Yes.
They got you worshiping Jupiter and Zeus.
Yeah.
All in church.
In the name of Jesus. Go ahead.
The birthday of the unconquered son
Yes, sir.
is further described by Samuel Bahakachi in his book, From Sabbath to Sunday.
Get that book From Sabbath to Sunday. Go ahead.
The adoption of the 25th of December for the celebration of Christmas.
Pause. What was that first word he said?
Adoption.
Adoption. If it was adopted, that means it was never commanded by God. Everything we've been reading, the Lord said.
That's right.
The Lord said.
The Lord said.
Then Moses repeated it. Now Pastor Johnny repeating it.
Right.
But who said it first?
The Lord.
The Lord. When you start adopting something, that means I said it. I'm thinking, you know, all these other nations already got some kind of deity on the 25th. How can we get this Israelite, how can we get that to fit? Adopt. Go ahead.
Is perhaps the most explicit example of sun worship.
Of what?
Sun worship.
Sun worship? On December 25th?
On December
The
25th.
unconquered sun? The Natalis, Solus, and Victi? Sun worship. Sunrise service, Sunday, sun worship. Go ahead. It's not the S-O-N, it's the S-U-N.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Influence on the Christian liturgical calendar.
See, that's why I got a question about Christianity that comes with Jesus, which comes with a lot of pagan sun worship.
Yes.
Somebody did that. These people, these Christians, the Christianity that took off, that wasn't who was at Antioch.
No, sir.
The children of Israel was in Antioch.
Yes, sir.
But this worship that we doing in the 21st century, that is not what the Messiah was doing. He didn't call himself a Christian. Christ means anointed.
Yes, sir.
What does anointing have to do with sun worship? Sun deification.
Nothing.
What does the Israelite people have to do with the Romans except the Romans raped, robbed, and plundered them? So why are we following Roman customs?
That's right.
I better go back and watch that Wednesday lesson. Listen to me. Why are we following the customs and traditions of the people that held captive the people of the book that you hold? Well, they didn't put things in context for you, so you're out of context, meaning you're out of your mind doing what? Sun worship. Finish that. Go ahead, brother.
It is a known fact
Known fact.
that the pagan feast of the Dies Natalis, Sotus, and Victi, the birthday of the invincible sun, was held on that day,
On what day?
December 25th.
Go ahead.
It was a solemn rite among the pagans to celebrate the festival of the rising of the sun on this very day, December 25th.
The rising of the sun. Now we're talking about seasons. We're talking about equinox. We're talking about winter solstice. We're talking about the sun decreasing, then the actual S-U-N increasing. That's what's going on. The winter solstice around what? December 25th. We're in winter. This is pagan people that are adding their customs to the scriptures. We're talking about the actual sun, right? At its lowest point, then the sun starts to rise again after winter solstice into the what? Spring equinox.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
That the Church of Rome introduced.
Who? Wait.
That the Church of Rome
Introduced, adopted. Remember, adopted. Now you know who did it. The Roman Church. Go ahead.
and championed this new date, December 25th.
Champion, meaning through the Inquisitions, Christ or die, and now you do all the customs of the people. You do what we do, or you die. You follow who you worship who we worship, or die. That's what adoption looked like back then. Through Islam, they did it that way. And through Christianity, exact same way. How do you think everybody all over the world under Christianity knows the same scriptures and does the same things? Well, you got two kinds of Christians. You got a Catholic Christian, and then you got an Orthodox Christian.
That's right.
Some of the same things, but not totally the same. because the Catholics is all into Natalis Solis Invictus, right? Worship of the sun, right? Sol Invictus, their popes are the replacement of Christ. Protestants are totally confused and don't know the truth about where they come from.
That's true.
That's the bottom line. But it all comes from the adoption and the what of the Roman Church?
The champion
Championed it.
new date, December 25th, is accepted by most scholars.
Now, before that, was anybody even caring about it?
No.
I doubt it. But Constantine had to bridge his land together. He had to get his people on one page.
Yeah.
Everybody else got a deity. They doing all of their worship, and they're kind of similar, except over here, they like no images, no God, no worship, and they're like, man, this ain't gonna work. It's gonna be constant warfare.
Yeah.
Right? But let's get more to this unconquered son. Get the two Babylons out. You can hold that book down. It's the two Babylons. Now we're going to the two Babylons. We're going to page 98. We got to find out more about this Natalis Solis Invicti, this unconquered son, this invisible S-U-N, not this S-O-N. Not the Son of God, the S-U-N of the heavens. Page 98. Go ahead.
Therefore, the 25th of December, the day that was observed at Rome as the day when the victorious God appeared on the earth.
The who?
The victorious God reappeared on the earth, was held at the Natalis Invicta Solis, the birthday of the unconquered son.
Two books, two different authors saying the exact same thing. We got Fred R. Coulter, and then we got Alexander Hislop. That's it on that? Your son worshiping on December 25th. But let's go into this book, the Babylonian Mystery Religion, page 163. Let's go in a little deeper, because you remember we read, it wasn't last week, it was it last Sabbath? We got into the $5 trillion secret, and it started, and we found out that Judaism was Phariseeism, was what? Mithraism. Babylonianism, Babylonian Talmud. Judaism is Talmudism.
Yeah.
Babylonian Talmudism. Judaism, they do not follow the oracles of the children of Israel. They got their own papacy. They got their own Bible.
Right.
They got their own Talmud. Now let's see how the Natalis Solis Invicta ties into that teaching from last Shabbat. Page 163. Go ahead.
In pagan days.
In what days?
In pagan
In the days of Israel.
No, these pagan days.
Pagan days. Go ahead.
This birth of the sun god.
The birth of the who?
The sun, S-U-N.
Y'all know there was a sun god?
Yeah.
Y'all ever heard that there was a sun god? Because this season here, 'tis the season, is all about sun god worship.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Was especially popular among the branch of the mysterious known as Mithraism.
Mithraism.
I'm sorry. Concerning this, we read, the largest pagan religious cult, wait a minute. The largest pagan religious cult, which fostered the celebration of December 25th as a holiday throughout the Roman and Greek worlds, was the pagan sun worship, Mithraism.
Mithraism. Mithraism is the pagan sun worship championed by who? The Romans and the Greeks. The Greeks, Jupiter. The Romans, Zeus. Go ahead.
This winter festival was called the Nativity.
The Nativity. Because the sun was supposed to be coming back, right?
Yeah.
Zeus is coming back. Go ahead.
The Nativity of the sun.
Nativity of the sun, meaning winter solstice back into spring equinox. The sun is coming back and rising and warming the planet back up. Go ahead.
And not only was Mithra, the sun god of Mithraism, said to be born at this time of the year, but Osiris, Horus,
Hercules, Bacchus, Adonis, Jupiter, Tammuz. We going all the way back to the Tower of Babel, Nimrod's son. Mithraism. Name them again, brother.
Osiris,
Horus,
Hercules,
Bacchus,
Adonis, Jupiter, Tammuz.
Tammuz. Go back and rewind, get all those names, and go find out what the people are, who the people are that worship those gods, and you'll see that it ain't the children of Israel, but it's the people that had the children of Israel in captivity.
Yeah.
Where are we learning these pagan customs from? Pagans, heathens, non-children of Israel. Go ahead.
And the other sun gods were also supposedly born at this day.
He said the other sun gods, so it's more than one sun god, and they're all born on December 25th. Go ahead.
December 25th, which is the Christmas season, the winter solstice.
Christmas season, 'tis the season, winter solstice. So that's what they're talking about. They are worshiping the rise and fall of the sun throughout the seasons. They worship the sun as God.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Says a noted writer, the winter solstice was the time at which all the sun gods from Osiris to Jupiter and Mithra had celebrated their birthdays. The celebration being adorned with the pine trees of Adonis.
A pine tree of Adonis. You hear that? The pine tree. It used to be the pine tree of Adonis. Go ahead.
The holy of Saturn and the mistletoe.
And the mistletoe. Go ahead.
Tapers represented the kindling of the newborn sun god's fires.
Tapers. Go ahead.
Now the fact that the various sun gods that were worshipped in different countries were all believed to have been born on the same season in the old fables would seem to indicate that they were but different forms under different names.
Wow.
All these different countries, they all got a name for their similar God, born on the same December the 25th. And here we are today in the so-called Christian church or followers of the scripture. We've now put our Jesus, he was never there, but all of a sudden, somebody has championed and adopted that date of birth to be the same as all the other pagan countries and pagan sun gods. The sun god worship. Go ahead.
Of the original son of the sun god Tammuz of Babylon.
So this is going all the way back to the Tower of Babel and Nimrod, Semiramis, and Tammuz. Babylonian mystery religion. If you never heard of the Babylonian mystery religion system, you probably should study that system, brothers. Go ahead.
The land from which sun worship originally spread.
So the sun worship originally came from Babel. That's where it originated. If you remember the lesson we talked about, the Khazarians, they had rabbis from Babylon come teach them Judaism. From what? The Talmud.
Yeah.
The Talmud is what? The Babylonian mystery religion. Go ahead.
In Babylon, the birthday of Tammuz was celebrated at the time of the winter solstice with great feasts, revelry, and drunkenness.
Drunkenness, great feast on the 25th. The winter solstice is when Tammuz's birthday. Tammuz became Mithra, became Jupiter, became Zeus. All of that is Tammuz worship. Mystery religion from Babylon. Go ahead.
The same way many celebrate it today.
Many the same way everybody worships it today, right? Big old party, big old festival, a lot of football, a lot of debauchery, a lot of drinking. Go ahead.
The ancient celebration spread and became so much an established custom that in pagan Rome and Greece, in the days of the Tuantic barbarians, in the remote times of ancient Egyptian civilization.
Egypt, Babylon, Egypt, Rome, Greece, customs. What was that question I asked you? So what is this about? What custom and tradition have we been learning? How did the Messiah get tied up in all of this winter solstice worship? Go ahead.
In the infancy of the race, east and west and north and south, the period of winter solstice was ever a period of rejoicing and festivity.
So it's festive throughout the country when the sun began to rise back into the sky, right? Winter solstice is at its lowest point, right? The darkest time of the year, right? And here comes the rising of the unconquered invincible sun. Why? Because in the times and seasons that the Most High said it, it always rises and falls every day. And in this season, it does the same cycle. Who's stopping it?
Reappears at the same time every day.
Messiah said not one jot, not one tittle is going to change. The sun rising and falling like it always has since the creation. It's unconquered.
Yep.
But he didn't tell us to worship the sun. But now in the church, we got from today on, it's going to be a whole bunch of hooping and hollering sermons tomorrow on Sunday about dear Lord baby Jesus. But if you do your research, you understand that the children of Israel and the Messiah, who was an Israelite from the tribe of Judah,
That's right.
had nothing to do with sun worship and idolatry. The Bible actually speaks against it.
That's right.
So let's verify this. Let's go to James chapter 5. So they done tied dear Lord baby Jesus' birthday to Tammuz worship, to Zeus worship, to the sun, winter solstice worship. Let's go to James chapter 5. James chapter 5. When you know better, you're supposed to do better.
Right.
You're not supposed to act like you don't know what you know. That's insanity. Just pretend like I don't know what I don't know. That's why many of you cut the videos off and try to come back later. You start hearing stuff you don't want to hear. And you're like, la, 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 la. Because if I don't know, then I'm not accountable.
Feel accountable.
Police pull up. Ma'am, you're going 55 and then 25. Oh, I didn't know. What, you got a driver's license? Well, nah, I know I'm getting a ticket. You're lying. There's no way you got a license without passing the test. Written test, driving test.
Read that book.
You gotta read that book.
Read that book.
And why are you driving and you don't know that you can't go past the speed limit? It's posted. Oh, I didn't know, officer. Please spare me, give me peace. No, you know the rules. James 5 verse 10. What it say?
Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience.
So the prophets are supposed to be our example, right? You say Christ's birthday was December 25th. I'm going to put it on trial, and here's my first witness. I'm just going to use what the prophets have to say about the day they were born. Let's go to the book of Solomon. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. This is Solomon speaking. Right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes in the 66th book. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Let's see what Solomon writes about his birth. I mean, who was smarter than Solomon outside of Christ? They say he's the wisest.
The wisest.
You know,
The wisest.
the wisest, right?
Yeah.
Let's see Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. Go ahead.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
Y'all remember this. Your character and your representation is very important.
Yes, it is.
And here's a verse you can keep with you to understand that what people are saying about you when you're not around, that's your character. That's who you are. And the better people speak about you when you're not around, it's better than precious ointment. It's better than that Chanel number 5 that's worth $120.
Yeah.
So your name means something. Your reputation means something. Go ahead.
And the day of death
Uh-huh.
than the day of one's birth.
What? There's no one smarter than King Solomon, but Yahushua that's ever walked this earth.
That's right.
This is a pretty smart guy because it says that everyone from around the world came to hear him speak.
Yeah.
And he said, what?
A good name is better than precious ointment.
Makes sense. That's pretty wise. You're a great king. Go ahead.
And the day of death
And the what?
and the day of death
The day you die.
than the day of one's birth.
What? Why are we celebrating our birthdays, and why are you trying to say the Messiah celebrated his birthday, and King Solomon is saying the day you die, if you lived righteously.
That's right.
is better than when you were born. Because in Psalms, don't King David say, which one said it? We was cursed from our mother's womb.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we came out of our mother's womb in Psalms, we was cursed.
That's right.
Why? Because we got to live and then do it to the end now.
Yeah.
But you try to celebrate your life every year, you don't understand how idolatrous and how wicked that is.
Wicked.
You're not keeping none of the commandments of God, but you want everybody to reverence and give honor and adoration to you.
For a whole week.
Actually, you give more adoration and respect to you than you do on Christ's so-called day. Because right now what's on trial is Christ's birthday on December 25th. And I'm telling you, King Solomon saying it was the day of death. If you live righteously, you're going to sleep and you're going to what? Be woke in the first resurrection.
Yes.
But when you were born, we looking at our little kids and we like, man, we got to prepare them because this world is hell.
Yes, it is.
It's roadblocks, it's stumbling blocks at every corner. And our kids walking around not wanting to be obedient, not knowing what it's going to cost them.
That's right.
That's right.
It's very scary that our kids walk around so indignant and so prideful and they don't want to listen like we ain't already been there.
Right.
You got to get to where I am. I've already been where you at. You understand? We've already lived. We've already been through K-12. We've already been through the ups and downs, the bullying. We've done all that. We got jobs. We've lived. We got houses. We got cars. You ain't did nothing yet. Yeah. But you got to go through a life full of ups and downs and disappointments. So our brothers and sisters and our family members that sleep, they don't got to go through this no more. But what we pray for is that they lived a righteous life, doing what he told them to do throughout their days, so that they will make the first resurrection.
Sure.
This is wise counsel here. Read it one more time, we move on.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
What is people saying about you now? What do you think they're going to say when you pass on? Go ahead.
And the day of death than the day of one's birth.
Yes, sir. Let's go. That's King Solomon. Let's go to Jeremiah 20. Jeremiah chapter 20. You gonna argue me about your birthday, and then now you gonna argue about baby Jesus lying in the manger in the middle of the winter. It's dead cold. Okay. You got shepherds walking around. You got babies in swaddle. Have you ever swaddled your baby? Would you swaddle your baby and then take her out into 20-degree cold?
No.
No, you gotta bundle that baby up, don't you?
Yeah.
They just got the baby out in 20-degree weather, just passing around. It's snowing, it's cold. Y'all do know it's snow in Jerusalem. Yeah. They just passing the baby around, freezing cold. He baby God, he ain't cold. Y'all crazy. He came in flesh, so that means that baby would be cold if it was cold.
Yes, sir.
Y'all talking crazy, y'all delusional. When the baby come out of his mama, do he got clothes on?
No.
20-degree weather out in the middle of a barn, that baby ain't gonna be cold?
Yeah.
Y'all don't make no sense right now. Jeremiah 20, verse 14. Go ahead.
Cursed be the day wherein I was born.
This Jeremiah, what he say?
Cursed be the day wherein I was born.
Why Jeremiah saying it too, though? It's supposed to be a glorious time. We out here having all these babies. Don't know that we birthing all these babies into a world of hell.
That's right.
Huh? You kids went around trying to be teen moms, popping these babies out. Stop it. Because you can't take care of them. Your parents can barely take care of you. And now you bring this child, and this child is 3 strikes down. They don't have a shot. If you prostituting, your mama was prostituting, more likely that baby gonna be prostituting. Your daddy in jail, the son gonna be in jail. Now he got a son. What do you think the chances are of this baby not going to jail? His grandpa is still in jail. Now his daddy locked up. Now this single mom raising him to do what? Go be locked up. Go ahead.
Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed.
Don't let the day. What is Jeremiah talking about? Why would he say such a thing? Would you go in your mama's face and be like, curse the day, curse your womb that you brought me forth out of your womb, mama? She'd be like, wow. Wow. She backhand you, right? Go ahead. Boy, you got the devil in you talking to me. Your day wasn't cursed. I mean, we had everybody. We had a big old party. Now look at me now, Mama. Go ahead.
Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying,
All them cigars and all that bottle popping, boy, I got some Henny for you. Yeah, boy, Landon's here. Yeah, Mike, you got your boy. Hey, curse that day. Curse that brother, Johnny, that celebrated. Because if we ain't going to be brothers and be our brothers' keepers and make sure our children make it into the kingdom, then they doomed.
That's right.
That's why I say that the law of the brother, if the brother passed away and the mother didn't have children, you're supposed to come in, take care of, help her have children. Yeah. And what if she already had children? Now she a widow. And back then, wasn't no man going to come in and take care of no woman that already had children. That was for the brothers and the uncles to step in. She was supposed to be fine. Why? Because they had land and they had means to take care of them, right? Unfortunately, my brother so-and-so passed on. I got to step in, right? But that's why they had all these rules and laws. But people ain't understanding how hard it is to take care of one kid, let alone multiple kids. Stop having kids if the daddy and the mom ain't gonna be in the same house.
That's right.
We are dooming and cursing. Now I'm just talking about life. Now we're not even talking about, obviously, if the husband, the mother, and the father ain't in the same house, it wasn't done according to the book. Remember I said earlier, family is very important to the Most High.
That's right.
Oh, I know a lot of people checked out right there. Because y'all want to do what y'all want to do. But that ain't what the Most High commanded us to do.
That's right.
It's tough. It's tough, but I'm not your enemy because I'm telling you the truth. We just try to get true salvation, and we don't get that lying and beating around the bush with each other.
That's right.
Go ahead, brother.
Cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, a man child is born unto thee, making him very glad.
You ain't never seen that in there, boy. You got your son, you know how you doing, ooh, high five, ooh, 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 ooh. Ain't no point of whooping up that he ain't gonna be around, raise that boy.
Right.
That boy gonna be hell. I'm gonna have to shoot your son one day trying to steal from my house.
Oh, man.
Cursed, right?
Cursed.
God forbid.
God forbid.
But if the boy raised up in the street, what do you think gonna happen? What is the majority of kids like that haven't had their daddy raise them right now?
In jail.
In jail, man, in the grave.
Made my point, verse 16.
And let that man be as the cities which the Lord overthrew, and repented not.
Yep.
And let him hear the cry in the morning, and the shouting in the noontide.
Verse 17.
Because he slew me not from the womb.
Man, somebody should have slew me from the womb if I knew I was gonna go through all of this. I knew the people that said they love me was gonna treat me like this, man. I would not been born. How many people that said that? If I knew it was gonna be this tough, man, why was I even born, mama? Why would you even do that to me? Go ahead.
Or that my mother might have been in my grave, and her womb to be always great with me.
Woo, go ahead.
Wherefore came I for out the womb to see labor and sorrow that my days.
Labor and sorrow. Start again, brother. I came out the womb. Somebody should have cut my throat in to have me live this horrible life. And y'all running around here making y'all day of birth so happy just to wake up the next morning feeling like, why was I even born? But I'm glad I got all these gifts. What good is that?
Temporal.
Sorrow of mind, faded heart. You still got the curses on you.
Still got it.
Because we the people. Read it again, we're gone, brother.
Wherefore came I put out the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame.
Man, that's Jeremiah.
That's hard.
That's Jeremiah. You want to see him talk to me like the Christ is celebrating his birth? How you think John the Baptist feel with you celebrating?
Okay.
Knowing his head was chopped off because little girl running around twerking for a Herod. She dropped it like it's hot for Herod and say, hey, uncle, I want John the Baptist's head because my mama said she want his head. And then you celebrate your birthday. What you going to tell John the Baptist? He going to say, you've been doing what? Oh, yeah, every year we celebrate our birthday. We have big old shindig. We don't do cakes and stuff no more. We just go out to eat. We go to BJ's. We go to Furs. What you gonna tell John the Baptist about birthdays? You think he was a forerunner of the Messiah just to see everybody celebrating the birth of the Messiah on and nobody ever know. You can't find no Israelite celebrate no birthdays. Well, you can, but we're gonna see what's. Let's go to Job chapter 3. Let's see what happened with the Israelites that celebrate their birthday. Let's go to Job. And many of you may never have heard it, and I know many of my brethren that I talked to and showed this to, you turned a blind eye. But you still a man of God, but you turn a blind eye for your own selfish, idolatrous ways. You want your worship. Let's go to Job chapter 3. Everybody, the last holiday and the last paganism is hard to break is worship of you.
That's right.
The last one everybody gonna struggle with. Job chapter 3. Let's see let's see what Job talking about. Job kind of making the Jeremiah statements. Right? Jeremiah like curse. Somebody should have killed me, huh? Curse my mama womb, boy. Should all the labor and sorrow, man. Somebody should have killed me, man. Mama, you didn't know I was supposed to go through hell.
Say mama womb should have been in grave.
You should have been in.
That's why I say he rather be stillborn. Let me be born dead.
Let me be born dead to come into this wicked world. Now let's check out your boy Job. Job chapter 3, verse 1. Go ahead. 1 through 3. Go ahead.
After this, opened Job his mouth and cursed his day.
What? Remember this term, his day. Because it's not anybody else's day, it's Job's day. Go ahead.
And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born.
What? With 2 or 3 witnesses, let the word be established. Y'all stop playing with God and stop playing with me. Ain't nothing wrong with us. We trying to be obedient. Look in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me, God? Help me fix myself. Because to do the same thing over and over, and you know better, is insanity. Go ahead, brother.
Let the day perish wherein I was born. And the night which it was said, there is a man child conceived.
Ain't he saying the same thing as Jeremiah? Cursed everybody said, you done had a son, you got your namesake Johnny, huh? High five, let's get some cigars, let's get that Henny shot, right? Job saying the same thing Jeremiah did, right? Cursed the day I was born, right? Well, let's go see in depth why Job was saying that. Let's go with me back to chapter 1. Job chapter 1. And I'm going to break down verse 4 for you, right? But we're going to read Job 1, 4, and 5. But I'm going to really break down verse 4 because, in the beginning we stuck to the KJV. But you got to read a lot of different Bibles. I got stacks of Bibles like this now because you want to see what the translators and what is really meant in these verses. So we're going to read Job chapter 1, verse 4 and 5. And then we're going to look at other translations of verse 4. Go ahead, verse 4 and 5.
And his sons went and feasted in their house.
These is Job's sons. He said they all went and feasted in their house. Go ahead.
Everyone his day.
Everyone on his day, just like Job said, curse my day I was born. Now Job's sons went and had a feast on their days. Whatever day their day was that they was born, they had a feast. Go ahead.
And sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them.
So what do you think was going on when their sisters came with a whole bunch of drinking? It wasn't nothing good going on. What happened at your parties after you get tipsy?
Oh, man.
What you need women around for? Verse 5, go ahead.
And it was so, when the days of their feasting were gone about, that Job sit and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all.
He had to go pray for them and ask for interceding prayer with them for them. You remember how Moses used to went and prayed and gave offering for the people? Lord, please forgive them. Take this offering for them. Go ahead.
For Job said, it may be that my sons have sinned.
They might have sinned by doing what? Feasting on their day. Bringing their sisters over for what? I don't know. You use your imagination. But it may be that my sons have sinned. Please accept this offering and please, I repent for them. Accept me as a living sacrifice and a witness for them. Go ahead.
And curse God in their hearts.
Woo! They might have cursed God in their hearts to do what? Make them the idol and make it about them when on their day. Go ahead.
Thus did Job continually.
Curse the day I was born. What did it say in verse 3 and 1? Curse the day I was born. Why? Because now my kids is doing dishonorably. And they may have did what? Curse God in their hearts. Do you know when you celebrate birthdays or when you say Yahweh Shai was born on the 25th, you are cursing the Heavenly Father.
Oh.
You think you're doing right, but someone has championed you to adopt that idolatry. Now let's look at the other versions of what it said. Read verse 4 for me again in the King James Version.
And his sons went and feasted in their house.
Yes.
Every one his day.
Yes.
And sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them.
That's King James Version, Job 1 and 4. Here's Job 1 and 4 in the World English Bible. It says, his sons went and held a feast in the house of each one on his birthday. And they sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. That's World English Bible. Now let's look at the New International Version. I know many of you got an NIV at home, right? The NIV says, his sons used to hold feasts in their homes on their birthdays. And they would invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. So now we have some Israelites celebrating their birthday, right? Job already said what? Curse the day I was born. My sons, he had to give a sacrifice in verse 5. Why? Because they may have cursed God in their hearts, right? Now let's drop down to verse 18 and 19 for me. Now let's see what happened because they cursed God in their hearts. Did Job's prayer work? Or was Most High God fed up? You don't think it worked?
I don't think it worked.
How do you think it's going to work if you curse your Heavenly Father? Read verse 18 and 19. Let's see what happened to Job's children for celebrating their birthdays, cursing God in their heart. Go ahead.
While he was yet speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house.
Turned up, lit, having a good time, getting full off that fire water. Smoking a little rope, doing a little dancing, got the sisters twerking and nay dropping it like it's hot. They doing it real big on their birthday. The man came and said, what happened to your sons and daughters? Go ahead.
And behold,
there
came a great wind from the wilderness.
A great wind from nowhere. Go ahead.
And smote the 4 corners of the house.
Hit that apartment, hit that house, and what happened to the children?
And it fell upon the young men. And they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell.
Dead. And I'm the only one that escaped to tell you that your sons and your daughters celebrating their birthday party. Job. They all dead. Oh, curse the day I was born. It came out of my mama's womb because I had these wicked children doing things they ought not to be.
That's right.
What?
Seemly thing, brother.
Cursing God in their hearts, celebrating the day of their birth.
Kill them all.
If that ain't playing for you, I got more. Because some of you might keep Santa Claus and little elves and reindeers.
They need more.
But so we already hit that one, right? But then the others of you are now saying, "Oh, baby Lord Jesus in the manger." My pastor said he was born on December 25th in the dead of the winter. He was lying in the manger in a little barn, had animals all around him, and 3 wise men, just 3 of them, came with gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and worship at the birthday of the unconquered Son, dear Lord, baby Jesus. Some of you are still kind of. I said it. Especially if you're grown.
That's right.
When my son said, you got grown up still walking around, still dressing up Halloween. Still playing Spider-Man.
Full-blown costume.
Full-blown costume.
What they call it, Comic-Con.
We got relatives on your Facebook timeline. They're going to go to their holiday parties this weekend. Big old guts sticking out with a little medium Santa Claus suit on.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus. That's what they want.
They got a Hennessy in their head. Tis the season. Tis the season to be wicked, just like Job's son.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
let's keep on moving.
Waiting on the Christmas mirror.
Let's look at this Christmas tree, because you had read something earlier about Adonis.
Yeah.
When we was in that book, he was saying it's something like the palm tree was Adonis, the god. And man, let's get into this tree real quick. Because see, many of you on this Christmas tree, you don't really understand what the tree represents.
That's right.
So let's just attack this one more time. Let's get the two Babylons. Two Babylons, just sitting right at the top. Right? Let's go back into the two Babylons. Everybody all right?
All right.
Yes, sir. We rolling. Y'all got the chance to try something?
Hey, I feel like this is a good time. Y'all excuse my voice, man. We've been on a 24-hour turnaround trip, man. And, you know, I'm fighting to keep my voice together. But I think this is a great time to say this. I used to know a man who said he walked with the Most High. And he posed a question to all the brethren. And he said a statement like this. He said, if everything you knew turned out to be a lie, would you change? Would you stop doing it? Like everything you thought was right and you were doing, your customs and traditions and how you moved in life and everything that mom and dad and grandma taught you, you found it out to be a lie. Would you change? To get into the kingdom of heaven, would you change and stop doing it? I'm adding the rest, but I know what he meant. Would you stop doing the wicked, idolatrous things if you found them out to be a lie and not according to Scripture? Would you stop? I just felt like this is a good time to put that out there. Just think about that. Write that down. Would I stop? Go look in the mirror. Look at yourself in the eye. You know, you can find out a lot by looking at people in their eye, but go look yourself in the face and say, why can I not stop doing things that I know aren't in the Scripture? Here my brother got two Babylons. Let's find out about this Christmas tree. Page 97. Page 97. I just want it should be number one. It should be that top bracket. Read that for me, brother. Check this out. This is the Christmas tree. Everybody got in their house. All your jobs got them in the lobbies or in your work areas. Check that out. Go ahead.
The Christmas tree,
This thing right here.
now so common among us, was equally common in pagan Rome and pagan Egypt.
It was common in Rome, and this Christmas tree was common in Egypt. Because you're saying, how did the things in Egypt and how did the things in the Tower of Babel thousands of years ago, how are we still doing it today? Why don't you ask the question, why is there a pyramid on the back of your dollar, and why is there an obelisk in the middle of most of your cities? It's not just in Washington, D.C. I need you to drive around any city in America, downtown, and look for an obelisk, and I bet you'll find one. Any major city, you'll find an obelisk, which is symbolic of your tree year-round. Go ahead.
In Egypt, that tree was the palm tree.
What was the relationship between Egypt and Israel?
We was captive.
We were slaves. We was captives. What was the relationship between Israel and Rome? I need y'all to hear it. You just read a book, you be like, oh yeah, the Greeks. Oh yeah, the Romans. What was the relationship between them and the children of Israel, even at the time of your Messiah? Y'all act like Christ is just walking around like, oh, I'm King, you know what I'm saying? I'm son of God. You know? Hey, Romans, how y'all doing? Hey. It wasn't like that. It was an occupied city. And the Pharisees, the Talmudists, ran him out of the city. And when he came back the last time, he died for me and you, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother.
So in Egypt, it was the palm tree.
So Egyptians had a palm tree, that was their Christmas tree. Go ahead.
And in Rome, it was the fir tree.
And in Rome, it was the fir tree. Go ahead.
The palm tree denoting the pagan Messiah as Baal Tamar.
What? They called him Baal Tamar.
And the fir referring to him as Baal Berith.
Lord Berith. Master Berith. Master Tamar. Baal Tamar, Baal Beret. Depending on where you at. Go ahead.
The mother of Adonis.
The mother of Adonis. We read that in probably in that same book earlier. Go ahead.
The sun god and great mediatorial,
Sun god.
divinity was mystically said to have been changed into a tree, and when in that state to have been brought forth her divine son. If the mother was a tree, the son must have been recognized as the man, the branch.
So the Christmas tree is the God.
Yeah. The mother turned into a tree.
The mother turned into a tree, and the branches is the sun.
Yeah, she gave birth to the branches. So
You're
the
lighting
branches
up.
gave birth.
You're lighting up
And that's the man.
the sun God worship. The tree is the idolatry. The inception, the creation of the tree is idolatry in itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Did you know that it is written, the Christmas tree is talked about in the Bible?
Yeah.
Let's go to Jeremiah.
They don't want to hear it.
We're going to read Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1.
They don't want to hear it, Pastor.
See, I say all of that just to come back to this, right? You can't just make no, it's more than just Jeremiah 10 going on with Christmas worship.
Man.
It's more than just the tree. It's the whole birthday, it's the whole idolatry. We touching all of it, you know what I'm saying? The whole sun worship, man, we touching all of that, right? But let's find out about this tree. That's a beautiful tree, ain't it? No, that's beautiful idolatry.
Idolatry.
Now let's
Look at that lady and her son.
pause. We don't want to say that too loud. We don't want to do smoke. All right.
That lady and her son. Look out.
Yeah, Jeremiah chapter 10. We don't want no smoke with a dollar in the tree. We don't leave that alone. Leave that alone. We back, man. We don't no smoke. We don't no problem. We ain't got nothing for you. We ain't no money. All right. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 1 through 5. Go ahead, brother.
Hear ye the word.
Hear ye, hear ye. 'Tis the season to stop being wicked. Listen. Go ahead.
Which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
No, we speaking. Mike speaking.
Nah, it
These
said,
my words.
the Lord.
These Jeremiah's words.
It said, hear ye the word which the Lord
The Lord spoke to Jeremiah and said what?
speaketh
Go
unto
ahead.
you, O house of Israel.
Whole house of Israel, right? Because you remember this whole book is about what people?
Israel.
You got to keep saying it. Because the Christian church you thinking it's everybody.
Yeah.
Judaism think it's just the Jews. Islam is just Muslim. Everybody, the Catholics think it's just the Catholics. The Baptists think it's just the Baptists. Everybody trying to have exclusivity rights to the word, but this is talking about the children of Israel. Find the children of Israel. Now, them the people you need to hang around
Yeah.
if they keep the law, statutes, commandments, and have faith in the Messiah. Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord.
Thus he said, listen,
Learn not the way of the heathen.
woo, we hard-headed. Because we can learn something and still not do it.
Man.
But he telling us, learn not the way of the who?
The heathen.
In verse 1, he said, he's speaking to Israel. So the heathen is anybody that's not Israel.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Oh, look at the sun. Oh, the winter solstice coming. Let's worship Tammuz. Oh, great Tammuz. Oh, great Baal Tamar. Oh, great Baal Berith. Oh, Zeus. He rises in the sun. You know what I'm saying? They was doing that. They looking at the sun, the stars. Oh, great Aries, the ram. Right? They worship the zodiacs, right? You got your birthdays with your zodiacs, your horoscopes. Capricorn and the Pisces and the Paranormals and then let's look at the great ball. You think out here is spookery. But we learn this stuff from the heathens. Go ahead.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
These people dismayed, they lost their mind. Go ahead.
For the custom of the people are vain.
The what?
The customs of the people are vain.
That's why I said, is it the custom? Is it just the tradition? Where you learn this stuff from? Where we get our customs from? Why our church do this stuff they do?
Man.
Huh?
The heathen.
We used to keep Halloween, 10 years ago, but now we call it Fall Festival. Why you changing your names and your customs? It's all still pagan.
But why you still dressing up?
Why you still dressing up? Why you still having Christmas parties? Oh, it's not Christmas. It's a holiday party.
It's for the kids.
Oh yeah, no, at work they be like, yeah, it's just a holiday. It's a widow festival.
Yeah.
It's still Christmas. You still got a big old tree.
Welcome to the
You got the fat guy sitting over there with the kids. We can bring him to work.
Yeah.
Man, y'all making up stuff. End of year celebrations.
End of year celebration.
Man, it's Christmas. 'Tis the season. It always has been.
Yeah.
Everybody still got lights on their house. Big wreaths. Big old plants with the red ferns, whatever you call them. What are them plants called, man? It's all wickedness.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For some, cut the tree.
They do what?
For some, cut the tree out of the forest.
I know. I seen about 2 of them on my way home, man. Got the big old white tent. What they got in there? Real pine trees. Because what we use in America?
Or the more expensive fir trees.
We use fir and pine trees in America. Real ones.
Real ones.
Not the one out of the box you blow the dust off. Bring that plastic thing out every year. No, some people got money. They got to get a real one every year.
Yeah, and they ain't growing here.
And they don't grow here. Yeah, don't grow in Texas.
Growing here.
You don't get them trees here. They imported them.
They ain't asking.
North Dakota, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Hey, they're not here in Texas.
They ain't in Texas. Like I said, you do a Christmas tree in Texas. Come on now.
It's in a box.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why they got the plastic. Because them jokers is not growing here, brother.
But back in the day, when you could just go cut a tree down,
Yeah.
pagans went in off in the woods and the mountains and cut a tree. Go ahead.
For one cutting the tree out of the forest,
Yeah.
the work of his hands of the workman with the axe.
Oh, they had to get an axe, chop down the tree. Right. Go ahead.
They decked it with silver and gold.
They stick it on the back of the station wagon or the truck, bring it home, put silver and gold ornaments on it. But if you can't afford them, you just get the regular old light bulbs, your little red, green bulbs, right? Go ahead.
They fastened it with nails and with hammers.
You see that tree fastener? You get out of a box, it got the whole little metal thing, you screw it in there, right? But when you get one with real one, you gotta get the wood, hammer that thing in, keep your tree erect.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That it moved not.
That the tree don't move.
Yeah, you don't want to move.
Why? Because you got the little kids coming, putting the popcorn on, throwing their little gingerbread bands on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They are upright.
Ain't nothing worse than a tree that's leaning.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Can't have no tree in the
Give me another tree.
Go ahead. Got a defective tree. You going back to that man trying to cuss him out.
You told me a dud.
You gave me a curved top tree. Go ahead.
No. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
The tree don't speak, but the tree is supposed to be the incarnation of the God.
Yeah.
The mother and the son.
Yeah.
The mother is the tree, the branches is the son.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They must needs be born.
They just needs to be born from the matrix of a woman to be real, but the tree ain't real. The tree can't talk.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Because they cannot go.
The tree can't move nowhere. Why? Because you stationed it with brackets.
You point them down to the ground.
But you didn't know it was a God anyway. You thought it was just a nice decoration. Go ahead.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Now that we told you that it was a false idol, don't be scared of your Christmas tree. Don't be scared to go get it and throw it away. Get the idolatry out of your house. Just throw it in the trash. Don't donate it.
Don't burn that Christmas tree. Throw it in the garbage.
Bro,
burn it.
Bro, I know some people that used to have expensive, they go and get grandma's ornaments and blow that thing off. These are special silver and gold. This passed down from family to family. You got families with some traditions, right? This stuff is passed down. It means something to them. The worship and idolatry associated with the whole experience of Christmas is anti-Messiah, is anti-Christ.
Amen.
You hear me? But there go the scripture right there. Read Jeremiah 10, 1-5 and tell me that ain't talking about a Christmas tree. Tell me it ain't talking about Christmas. Whether you in Rome, or whether you use a fir tree, a pine tree, or whatever kind of tree.
The fir?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fir tree costs.
Yeah, whatever kind of tree you use.
Yeah.
Don't matter.
Fir tree costs a lot of money, but.
So let's look at these decorations.
Yep.
Oh, man.
This is all Mike right here. I'm gonna let my voice rest. Get the coat holidays book. Cause we got a whole bunch of decorations. I did my homework. You just gotta go prove me wrong. And if you're going to prove me wrong, that's only because you want to keep believing your lie.
That's right.
Pastor John, you see what it say right here? Hey, you work that out between you and the Most High. But page 73, brother. I'm sorry. I got my boy here flipping page.
I was trying to see if you had a marker in there for me. Okay.
I did have one at the top. 73. 73.
You got it on the wrong page, brother.
That's all right. You work it out. So one on down, man. Explain to them. Speak articulately. Wait, you got the thing on your throat? Yeah. Hold your head up. Number one.
Hold on, we ain't 73 times.
Look left.
Oh, we already read this one?
No, turn the page, bro.
Oh, this way. There we go.
You're on the wrong page.
See, I'm telling well, you had it on the right page then.
Slocky.
All right. Y'all ready?
Go ahead. Number one.
Number one, Christmas tree. The sacred tree of the winter god. The Druids believe
The who?
The Druids?
What's that from the tribe of Judah?
Nah.
No, that's Issachar.
Yeah.
Druids.
Druids. Yeah.
Look up Druids. and see if you find the word Druid in the Bible. But these Druids, what up with them in the Christmas tree?
They believe that the spirit of their gods reside in the tree.
The spirit of their God is in the tree. Somebody got you doing idolatry. Some of you are watching right now. Look over at your tree, and I want you to believe it. It's idolatry. Get it out your house.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Most ancient pagans knew that the tree represented Nimrod,
Another-
reincarnated.
Another word, pagan. Look that up. But the pagans believed that it was Nimrod, who was the son. You can read Nimrod in the Bible.
Yeah.
But his wife, Semiramis, Tammuz, they're saying that tree is Nimrod being reincarnated.
Yeah, Nimrod was reincarnated into Tammuz.
He was reincarnated into Tammuz. How?
Pagans also looked upon the tree as a physical, as a phallic symbol.
Phallic. I need y'all to look up that word phallic. Spell it.
Phallic.
Nimrod, me, I'm Daddy Johnny. That's Johnny number 3. Nimrod has reincarnated through the phallic, when you look that word up,
Yeah.
into Tammuz.
No.
Johnny number 3 has reincarnated from Johnny number 2 through the phallic. Your tree is a phallic representation of a god. Because you know, there is people out there in the conscious community saying we are God because there's no reincarnation that don't come through man, through the phallic and through the seed of man. So here you have the tree representing the phallic representation of Nimrod being reincarnated through Tammuz. Your tree is a phallic symbol, which is just like the obelisk is a phallic symbol.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
The next, number 2.
Number 2.
Y'all mark y'all paper.
If y'all ain't get them terms, just rewind, then go to Google and say phallic.
Yeah. Definition of phallic. They gonna get it.
Go ahead.
Star.
The star that's on top of your phallic symbol. Go ahead.
A 5-pointed star. The pentatefla is a powerful symbol of Satan, second only to the hexagram. The star is the sacred symbol of Nimrod and has nothing, I'm going to repeat, has nothing to do with Christianity.
The star has nothing to do with Christianity, but Christianity pumps it because on the night the baby Jesus was born, the wise men followed the star. But they saying the star on top of your phallic symbol Christmas tree represents Satan.
Yeah.
It represents Nimrod. It represents Satan. The star, the only thing that supersedes it in more satanic worship is the hexagon.
Right. That's it.
The only thing that's more satanic than the 5-pointed star that's on your Christmas tree is the hexagram.
Yeah.
So you put a tree, a phallic together, and then on top of it you put Satan. The whole tree is Satan worship.
5-pointed star to the 6-pointed star. So the 6-pointed star is worse.
So if you go to a house and they got a 6-pointed star, that means they know it's Satan worship.
That's crazy.
Number 3.
Candles.
Oh, I gotta light my candles We gotta go get them nice green. They got green and red ones doing season. 'Tis the season. You can't get no red and green ones.
Candles.
Yeah. They smell too, and they all
Smell
scented.
good.
now. What the candles represent, my brother?
Candles represent the sun god's newly born fire. Pagans.
So what kind of fire comes from the phallic symbol of the sun god? Y'all want that smoke? Fire, the candle represents the fire. Go ahead.
Pagans, the world over, meaning all over the world.
So if you go back to Jeremiah verse 2, it calls them heathens as opposed to the Israelites in verse 1.
Yeah.
So a pagan is anything that's not a child of Israel because they know not to be doing this stuff.
Right.
You can't be a child of God and you don't know what you are and what you are not supposed to be doing, especially if you've grown. There's nobody that can keep you from finding out what you want to find out. You're not a child no more. You ain't got to answer to nobody. You've grown, right? But you're not using your freedom to be free. The truth will set you free. I read that earlier. But you're not using your free will to really be free. Go ahead.
Pagans the world over love and use candles in their rituals and ceremonies.
I know y'all got some friends right now that love candles. Every time you go over their house, they burning candles. Man, what's up with all these candles? Whole house smell like wax. Go ahead.
Certain colors are also thought to represent specific powers.
Certain colors of candles represent certain power. Go ahead.
The extensive use of candles is usually a very good indication that a service is pagan, regardless of the outward trappings.
So somebody that you go visit and they always burning candles will give you a clue that there was just some kind of service, some kind of ritual that just happened or always happens in that house. So if you're always feeling some kind of way when you come or when you leave, that's because someone had just indoctrinated you with some kind of ceremony. Don't eat nothing bread. Don't eat nothing spaghetti. Yeah. Hey, stop going to that person's house to be burning all them candles. You walk in and it's lit up. Hey, don't your light switch work? Why your whole house lit up by candles? It said it's a good sign. It's a good sign that what was going on?
Let me go back to it. So it says, the extensive use of candles.
Extensive. Remember we were excessive earlier, right?
Yeah, extensive.
Idolatry is excessive worship.
Yeah. It says it's usually a very good indication that a service is pagan, regardless of the outward trapping.
I don't care what you say. It's something pagan going on.
I don't care what you
Yeah, I don't care what you say. There's something pagan happening here, boy. I see the candles was burning and wax still dripping. What was you praying about up in here? Who was you praying to?
What, did this have anything to do with me?
Did it have anything to do with me?
Let me go and leave right.
I don't want no water. I don't want nothing.
Well, you want what now?
I'm home out here.
I cook. You want some spaghetti? No.
Go ahead.
The next one is the mistletoe.
The mistletoe.
Give me a kiss, girl. They plant one on.
I got it right here for you. Looking like Chester, the mistletoe.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, what? Look. You know what I'm talking about?
You at work, you come around the corner. You come around the corner and that same old coworker.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one time that one dude that been trying to talk to you at work gonna get lucky. Hey, girl.
Yeah. And if you go to a church and when you walk through the sanctuary, it's
They got the mistletoe hanging down.
yeah, you gotta leave. All them deacons, something wrong with them.
Hold up. Ain't they be burning candles?
They burning candles. You gotta leave that church, man. They got mistletoe in the sanctuary door and they got candles in with it. You got to leave. Go with it.
Mistletoe is the sacred plant of the Druids.
Of the who?
The Druids.
Y'all gotta look up Druids and where they come from. Go ahead.
Don't they get them definitions for me, please? Symbolizing pagan blessings of fertility. Thus kissing.
Whoa. The mistletoe got to do with fertility?
Yeah, it says
Fertility.
mistletoe is sacred.
Phallic, fertility. Man, what's going on with the season right now? Man, this Christmas is getting weird. Go ahead.
Symbolizing pagan blessings of fertility. Thus, kissing under the mistletoe is the first step in the reproductive cycle.
What kind of freaky Jason is going on with this mistletoe? It's supposed to spark the fertility. It's supposed to spark something.
Kissing, that's you mean? No, brother.
Yeah, it's supposed to spark something going on with the Druids and the pagans.
Yeah.
It meant something. You catch that girl, that guy catch you around the mistletoe, that means that's supposed to lead to something, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The next one, number 5.
Number 5, go ahead.
Wreaths.
The wreaths.
Wreaths are associated with fertility and the circle of life.
How many of y'all got a wreath on your door? I don't care if it's made by wood, cans, chains, it's green, it's plastic, it's real. How many houses do you drive by your neighborhood from today until the first of the year got this big old circle wreath on their door, on their mailbox, in your office? What did the wreath mean again?
It's associated with fertility.
What's going on with
the
fertility?
life cycle? The
And
circle,
what?
The circle of life.
Circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
Paganism. Fertility. Go ahead.
Being circular, they also represent the female sexual organ.
The what?
The female sexual organ.
The wreaths represent fertility in the female sexual organ. And the tree represents the phallic symbol of Nimrod being reincarnated through Tammuz. I'm about done. Number 6.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, you know the big heavy set dude that go through the chimney like it ain't nothing. Go ahead.
The mythical attributes and powers ascribed to Santa are eerily close to those possessed by Jesus Christ.
Oh, St. Nicholas is supposed to be a replacement of Jesus Christ, Yahushua. Go ahead.
Reindeer, number 7.
Number 7, reindeer. You know the things supposed to fly on Dancer, on Stupid, on Donner, on Blitzen. Go ahead.
A horned animal
It's a horned beast.
representing the horned god.
Have you ever heard of the horned god, the stag god?
Yeah.
Y'all better look up this stuff. I'm not just quoting it. Rewind it. Google. Talk to Google, man. Need to talk back. Say stag god. Horned god. Go ahead.
Or the stag god
Uh-huh.
for pagan religion. Santa traditionally has a team of 8 reindeer.
He got 8 stag gods. They all got names. You know them by heart. You sing the song. Go ahead.
In satanic geomantics,
In satanic geomantics, you can find that word geomants in the Bible. Geomants. You can find that in the Bible. Read that again.
this one is satanic geomantics. 8 is the number of new beginnings.
How many reindeer is it?
8.
8 new beginnings. We got the circle of life and the wreath and the phallic symbol. Man, what is going on with Christmas?
Man, wait till you hear this next part.
Go ahead.
Or the cycle of reincarnation.
Cycle of reincarnation has to do with the reindeer.
Yeah. 8.
8 being what?
8 being the 8. Let me see. 8 is the number of new beginnings.
8 is the number of new beginnings because the number of 7 is completion.
Yeah.
So now somebody that's saying that added an 8, new beginnings,
Yeah.
with the stag god.
And the cycle of reincarnation.
Cycle of reincarnation.
So it's 8 cycles.
Man, this whole thing is satanic. Go ahead.
Elves.
Elves, you know the little green thing walking around. Hey, Saint Nick, you want me to pack your bag?
Now listen. Before y'all buy y'all pretty little elf suit, listen. Elves are imp-like creatures.
Elves are imps. You remember the Lord of the Rings had a lot of little imps in it?
And you know what they look like?
What are imps, brother?
They're imp-like creatures who Santa's little helpers
Santa's little imp helpers, go ahead.
or Satan's demons.
Satan's demons. You know, you change Santa around, it's Satan.
Yeah.
Santa is Satan. Elves are demons.
Satan Claus. Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, now we're gonna get a little bit more personal, okay? We talking about colors. For y'all who do like green and red. Green and red are the traditional colors of the season, as they are traditional pagan colors of winter.
So every year you go to school, all your teachers start decorating everything with green and red. At your job, everything's green and red. Everybody got lights all over their houses and businesses, green and red.
Yeah.
So the green and red. What's that big plant all the churches put up in the front during Christmas?
Idris plant.
The Idris, big old red plant with a green body all across. Watch, you go watch Creflo and TD and all across their stage. They had these big old red plants. They call what?
The Idris.
What are they talking about with these colors?
So that's it.
The colors represent what?
Winter.
Winter. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Winter
now,
colors of the pagans, right?
pagan winter, yeah.
Pagan
colors
winters.
of winter, yeah.
Go ahead. Don't forget that first part of it.
Pagan colors of winter. Yeah.
So you can pretty sure that the Israelites didn't decorate the temple with green and red.
Nah, we had purple, we had blue.
Royal color.
Yeah, royal.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, here we go. Number 10, y'all ready?
Number 10, this is the last one. Come on.
December 25th
December 25th, the day. Go ahead.
was also known to the Romans as Saturnalia.
Y'all ever heard of Saturnalia? You gotta look up Saturnalia because when you got a whole bunch of fertility, phallic symbols, circles of life, reincarnations, and all this stuff going on, it's a whole bunch of wickedness going on with a lot of drinking and a lot of sexual exploits going on Christmas with a whole bunch of mistletoe. Go ahead.
A time of deliberate debauchery.
Deliberate, look up the word debauchery. 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 You go to Google and say debauchery, debauchery. I think it's D-A-U-C-H something.
E-R-Y.
E-R-Y. Debauchery, debauchery. Go ahead.
Drinking through repeated toasting, known
Debauchery.
as wasteling.
Wasteling.
Yeah.
Wasteling. W-A-S-S-A-I-L.
You got it.
Go ahead.
Was a feature of this celebration.
Whole bunch of getting drunk.
The mistletoe,
Eggnog laced with rock and get a little hypnotic in your eggnog. Go ahead.
the mistletoe symbolized fornication.
Whoa.
And the entire event was finished with a great feast called the Christmas dinner.
You got a whole bunch of drinking. You got a whole bunch of women running around, men chasing with mistletoes.
Yeah, fornicating.
Fornicating. And this is happening Saturnalia. It's going to be happening all through the streets of Rome.
Man.
And so during this week, from now until 4 days from now, you're going to see a whole bunch of debauchery going on. A whole bunch of drinking, a whole bunch of Christmas parties, a whole bunch of festivals with a lot of mistletoes, a lot of wreaths,
Yeah.
a lot of fertility, a lot of phallic symboling going on around here, around their Christmas trees. Pause.
Crazy.
Moving on. Let's talk about these gifts. Is it for the children? Oh, man, Christmas, your kid, you see your kid at school, and he say, teacher, I don't do Secret Santa. I don't want to be involved. And next thing you know, he come home, and he just snuck something home in his backpack. Say, boy, where you get that Hot Wheels from? I think Jimmy gave it to me. You call the teacher, say, hey, my son got this new Hot Wheel. I want to know it. Right? Oh, yeah, he said he wasn't doing a Secret Santa, but I gave it to him anyway. I thought I told my son to tell you we don't do Secret Santa.
Yeah.
But sometimes you send your kids away, and these people do what they want to do. Huh? We don't keep Halloween. Oh, take the candy anyway. My mama told me not to take the candy. It's all right if you take it. This woman, these people with your kids 8 hours a day, what you think your kid's gonna do? All right, it's just candy. Huh?
That's how they do.
Surely your mama didn't say you could take that candy. Who that sound like? My mama told me not to take the candy, but hey, surely your mama ain't gonna mind you having a little of this nasty
She didn't say
corn.
this candy, bro.
This candy don't got no Halloween on it, it just say sweet tart. Huh? It's just a Reese's, it don't got no owls, and you know how they decorate this stuff up.
Yeah,
This
There's no rabbits on
this ain't no red and green candy cane. Hey, you ever notice the candy cane red and green on Christmas?
Yeah, they are.
You either getting the red
box
white
red
or you getting
the
the
box of green.
red and green one, right?
Yeah, that's it. Or you get the one with the two colors on there together.
How will we know we was involved in paganism if nobody tells us? That's why I'm telling you. Those of you that choose to have ears to hear, right?
We'll say,
Now let me tell you about these gifts, because you gotta understand I intertwine the two masters, right? You can't serve both. You can't say you follow Christ and then you doing all these pagan Christmas things. And you can't say he thankful that gave me another year to live on my birthday. And that's the truest form of idolatry. You can't serve both masters. But everything that go on got gifts associated with it. Everything is a party and everybody gets something, right? So let's look at what the Bible says about really receiving gifts, period. Because if I'm giving my kid a toy and I bought him something, I bought it, right? But if it's associated with, it has to be a certain day and a certain festival for them kids to think they got to receive something, man, you might just be involved in something that's contrary to the Bible. All right, you don't have to take my word for it. Let's read the scriptures. Exodus 23 and 8. Let's start right there. Let's get a commandment. Exodus 23 and 8. Because you remember I said, sometimes what the Bible don't say, it says.
That's right.
And then what the Bible says explicitly, you don't want to listen to it anyway. So now I'm going to give you something clearly the Bible tells about your special day. Oh, on my birthday, we don't have no candles or nothing. Do you get a gift? Did anybody get you a gift? Let's see what the Bible say about why you don't want to give up your birthday and why you love Christmas so much. You attribute it to Christ, but really you just want to get some gifts and eat fat and pass out.
That's right.
Exodus 23 and 8. Read that.
And thou shalt take no gift.
Do what?
Thou shalt take no gift.
That's why we don't read that Old Testament. Man, I thought you said, man, that's that old covenant. That's that old book. We don't read that. What's the commandment?
Thou shalt take no gift.
Why?
For the gift blinded the wise.
You ever notice you get blinded? You ever know you feel some kind of way when you don't get a gift? What if you don't get no Secret Santa at work? Huh? But then when they give you a gift anyway, you like, oh, I guess I can take it. The gift got people's eyes blinded, son. That's why you want the birthday. You want people to send you something. You want to get something.
Yeah. You don't want the day.
That's why you love Christmas so much.
You want the gift.
You want the gift.
That's right.
Oh, okay, the tree pagan. We'll get rid of the trees, but we still going to give gifts to everybody and have a big dinner. Read it from the top, we'll move on.
And thou shalt take no gift.
Go ahead.
For the gift blinded the wise and perverted the words of the righteous.
You mean you can start saying things that's perverted or contrary to the scripture?
Yeah.
You start compromising and saying, surely I can take it this time. It's okay.
Just the one.
It's just this one time. I ain't gonna let nobody know it. I'm gonna unwrap the whole gift, throw the trash away behind Kroger's, and then when my wife sees it, she ain't gonna know. Hey, where you get that from?
Put it in the back of the closet. That been in there.
You got a new tie? You got some new socks? Oh no, they've been there for a while. You got the Secret Santa that you wasn't supposed to be playing. You know what I'm saying? Kids sneaking in stuff from school. Don't want the parents to know that they participated. It goes on.
No.
But the gift blinds the eyes of the wise. You know better. Yeah. But you start getting gifts, now you start to respect person, and it started making you, click up inside. That person like me. Why? Because they gave you a gift. That person could be setting you up to destroy you.
What's that, Patrick? You get all soft and mushy.
You get all soft and start feeling a certain way. That sister bring me cakes all the time and cookies. And you know what happened when the candy man get the kids candy all the time? Next you know he done seduced them and raped them.
That's right.
Gifts ain't always good. It blinds kids' eyes from stranger danger. He give me a dime every Sunday. He give me candy,
I'm getting a van, candy.
Come on, I can take you home. I know your daddy. Gifts, period. This is just some wise counsel. You just got to be careful of gifts. Let's keep going for the second time. Deuteronomy 16:19. I don't want to belabor every topic. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 19. When you get it, go ahead.
Thou shalt not rest judgment. Thou shalt not respect person.
Don't respect no person. Whether you went to the same college, you part of the same sorority, y'all went to the same high school, y'all dress alike. I like you wear nice clothes. I like your hair wraps. You smart. Oh, you got a master's. People start clicking up and doing all these respected person based off of things that don't got nothing to do with the Bible. Go ahead.
Neither take a gift.
Don't take no gift. You got people come in your church and start giving everybody gifts, and then people will stop looking at them, and then next thing you know, they deceiving and tearing the whole church up. Go ahead.
For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous.
That's two witnesses, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, get the Apocrypha. Y'all, if y'all got your Bible apps, we're going into Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 20, verse 29. Apocrypha for edification. We just here a little, there a little. We getting these precepts. Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, verse 29. Read that.
Presence.
Wait a minute. Presence Go ahead.
And gifts.
And gifts. What holiday or what season of festivity use the word presents?
Birthday.
When the kids run around, you give me some presents. You give me some presents. Go ahead.
Presents and gifts.
Do what?
Blind the eyes of the wise, and stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove.
Listen, it's one thing.
Can't you say no
It's
to
one
it?
thing if you don't know the law, statutes, and commandments. But if you know the law, statutes, and commandments, if people start giving you presents and gifts, you might blind the wisdom that you're supposed to have, and you're not able to reprove them when you see somebody doing wickedly. That's when you talk about respect the person. You start letting people slide when you know you should rebuke them, but they gave you a gift, so you feel like you can't say nothing. Or you know this is 2019 and they gonna throw it in your face. Well, I got you such and such. I gave you this and I gave you that. Whoa.
Won't they know it?
Tell them something, they gonna be able to give you nothing else.
Hey, yeah. If I say something, he want to invite me to the house and watch the big screen.
Yeah.
Won't they do it?
They do it.
Presents and gifts do what?
It said it blinded
It does blind. Go ahead.
the eyes of the wise. And stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove.
Yes, sir.
You see it? I ain't gonna say nothing. That's Sister Mo. She bring my sweet potato pie every week. Hey, you know that family over there, man. They bring me ties every week. That's why the pastor looks so good. I mean, that family over there, them good ones bring me a shirt every Sabbath.
Oh man.
Huh? Brother so and so make all my necklaces and stuff. Do all my friends. So then you'll stop your mouth. The worst thing is for a pastor or a leader to do it. But it's really for any sister or brother. I mean, the worst thing to do is get when people start giving you stuff, start buying your friendship. That's what it's called. When they start buying your friendship,
Or buying your silence.
or buying your silence to their reproach, to their wickedness. Oh, that's good, brother. Let's keep going. So you gotta watch these gifts. So what's the problem? They got you sucked in the custom and the tradition and idolatry, but it's really the gifts that make people. See, I'm talking to you right now. We're reading the scripture. I done brought out so much information, but your eyes, I mean, you just can't see it because it's like, I know I gotta go this Saturday night. I know they got 3 or 4 parties I'm going to. I can't go tell people they wrong. I can't go to Auntie's house and tell her you need to burn that tree. I know she's supposed to give me that Ichimiyaki. I know I need that cologne. You know what I'm saying? I know my girlfriend got me them Timberlands. I can't go tell her Christmas is pagan. You know, maybe I'll tell her next year. Stop.
I'm gonna let it slide.
I'm gonna let it slide. What does the scripture say? You stop up your mouth from saying what you know to be because you like getting what? Your presents and your gifts. Proverbs chapter 17. Let's get some more scripture. Proverbs chapter 17. We're going to read verse 23. When you get it, you go ahead. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 23. Get some precepts out. Go ahead.
A wicked man taketh a gift.
Oh, so when you keep on taking these gifts, you've made a conscious decision. You ain't crazy, are you? Oh, you're not stupid. Because, you know, this is the word about take that, take that, take that. Even if it's wrong to take it. Like it's people that'll take something from somebody and you know that sister or brother just gave their last to appease you. And some of you just keep on taking. Wicked people take gifts. Why? Huh? Since you offered it, I might as well. No, you should just say, no, thank you. I appreciate the offer, though. That's what you should say. You should keep your people out in their eyes, and you know, they couldn't come. They couldn't come to work, huh? Oh, they didn't get nothing for the Secret Santa. Oh, okay. But they just had bought me a. You know what I'm saying? For me, you say, oh man, I just seen them and they had brought me, this new surround sound, But they couldn't come to work all week. Yeah, they didn't get their last to appease your friendship. Wicked people do that. They keep taking from people. Go ahead.
A wicked man taketh the gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment.
Woo. Man. To pervert the ways.
Man, why would you do hard words?
That mean you know better. You know what's righteous. You know the law, statutes, commandments. You just perverting your own ways and you perverting the ways of everybody else. When you can clearly say, hey, brother, you know, we're not supposed to respect person. And, you know, hey, if you going to give me something, don't give nobody. You know, I always tell my daughter, man, don't bring out nothing. You can't give everybody something. Yeah. Tell my son, man, don't start bringing out no pack of gum and you ain't got the big pack. Yeah. You just got a 5-pack of Big Red. Yeah. Don't bring it out unless you got to rip that up into 13 pieces because 13 kids here. Yeah. You know, nothing like a parent be like, get some kids some candy and you got 12 other kids going. Slob and wanting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't give your kid nothing. Put a peas in them. You know better. What's wrong with you? You don't got enough for everybody? Don't bring none out. Let's go on. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. This is the last one on these gifts, and we're going to move on because I think we answered all the questions that I posed in the beginning. Yeah. Now it's going to be up on you. Are you going to obey and do what the Most High commanded you to do when he told you to do it? Or are you just going to keep doing what you want to do? Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Go ahead.
Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad.
Man, you people going crazy, going broke, trying to buy all these gifts, going mad. Buying toys your kids going to break. Getting your wife something she ain't going to wear. Giving your people something that you got the receipt for that. It just didn't fit me right. They going to take it back and get the money. Y'all going mad trying to give people presents and gifts. Go ahead.
And a gift destroyed the heart.
A gift destroyed the mind. Y'all going crazy. Yeah. Playing the Black Friday game. Playing the discount on discount hustles. Yeah. I got a discount and a coupon. And I know somebody that worked there. I'm trying to get it for nothing.
Pass the coupon down the line. Here you go.
Here you go. Use the same coupon. I mean, you are going mad trying to play the game that somebody has adopted you to play. But from the beginning, the Most High is telling you, you ain't supposed to be involved in all of that.
Changing price tag.
So let's get into this last topic.
Yes, sir.
Was the Messiah born on December 25th?
Nope.
I'm just going to present something to y'all. I got a perspective I want to show y'all through scripture. I'm going to show you some things that's written in the word that I've been studying and finding out. And we just put the December 25th on trial, right? I already told you that it doesn't make no sense to have a little baby swaddled and coming out of his mother's womb. She got to be freezing. They got to be freezing. They're in a barn. You know, they're not in the hotel. They're not in the place where it's warm and it's conducive to live during the winter.
That's right.
He was born somewhere else. But let's just read the story. Yeah. You know, you can't talk about the season without reading the story. We're just going to read a little piece of the story, not the whole story. I don't want to bore nobody because I know y'all want to go drink your eggnog, nutmeg, and all whatever y'all got going on.
Burn y'all some candles.
Gonna burn some candles, mistletoe going on, little fertility. Yeah, they got a whole bunch going on. A bunch of debauchery going on. Luke chapter 2.
Strong drink.
We're going to read the story for the sake of time. I ain't going to say nothing. Let's read the story. Let's read the story right quick. Little baby Jesus in the manger.
Okay.
We're going to read Luke chapter 2. We're going to read 8 through 16, brother. Okay. Let's read the story. Let's read together. It's a Shabbat. We're supposed to read it. Go ahead. We're going to keep it short on this topic because we've been long everywhere else.
All right. Y'all ready? Here we go. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field.
So we ain't in the city.
Right, they're in the field.
They're in the country. They're in Bethlehem. Bethlehem ain't the big city.
Right.
And if we read it last week, when we showed the religions, it was saying that the Christians say their founder is Christ from Bethlehem, and the Jews say their founder is Abraham from Jerusalem. Yeah. So obviously Jerusalem is the city, Bethlehem is country. Yeah. We out in the sticks. Go ahead.
Keeping watch over their flock by night.
So obviously even today, you don't see cattle. You do in some parts of the city, but you don't see major herds of animals anywhere in the inner city, right? Right. It's outside the city, right? Mm-hmm. That's where all the land, the big tracts of grazing is, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Listen to this now. Go ahead.
And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone around about them, and they were sore afraid.
like when you in the city, you can't see much because you see the city skylight, right?
Yeah.
And it's usually warmer in the city than in the country.
Right.
But when you're in the country, you look up and you can see the whole star in the sky and it's unimpeded, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people.
Go ahead.
For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
Go ahead.
And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in the manger.
Just lying in the manger out in the middle of nowhere. Go ahead. In the middle of the country. Go ahead.
And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, Glory to the God in the highest, and on the earth peace, goodwill toward men.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass, as the angels were gone away from them into heaven, the shepherds said one to another, Let us now go even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste, and found Mary and Joseph, and the babe lying in the manger.
Mary, Joseph, and the baby was lying in the manger in Bethlehem in the middle of the winter in December. We're putting that on trial, sisters and brothers. Let's go read another story. Let's go read about John the Baptist leading up to
This time.
Jesus being born
Yes, sir.
in Bethlehem. Let's go to Luke chapter 1.
Yes, sir.
Go to the first chapter. Luke chapter 1. We're going to skip around. And I want y'all to take some notes while we go, okay? Luke chapter 1, we're going to start at verse 5. Go ahead.
I'm going to read the stuff so they can pay attention, pal. Verse 5. There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias.
Write this in your notes. Zachariah was a priest. Go ahead.
Of the course of Abia.
Of the course of Abiah. Write that down. He was a priest. Key phrase, of the course of Abijah. Write that down. Go ahead.
And his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth.
Go ahead.
And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless.
Go ahead.
And they had no child, because that Elizabeth was barren. And they both were now well stricken in years.
Go ahead, brother.
And it came to pass that while he executed the priest's office before God in the order of his course.
Write this down, verse 8. Here's the note. He executed the office of the priest before God. Y'all need to write that in y'all notes. I'm going to bring it back up. Go ahead.
According to the custom of the priest's office, his lot was to burn incense when he went into the temple of the Lord.
That's his job, burn incense in the temple of the Lord. Go ahead.
And the whole multitude of the people were praying without at that time of incense.
Go ahead.
And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord, standing on the right side of the altar of incense.
So he's in the temple of the Most High, and an angel approaches Zechariah while he's doing his work after the office of his priesthood, which he burned incense within the temple. Go ahead.
And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him.
Go ahead.
But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John.
John the Baptist, John will be his name. Go ahead. Stop right there. So drop down to verse 43. Make sure you got all those notes, sisters and brothers. You who are watching me, and if you didn't get it, rewind it and go back through this. And if you're not following along, you're going to miss it. Drop down to verse 23. Go ahead.
Verse 23.
Yes.
And it came to pass that as soon as the days of his ministration were accomplished, he departed to his own house.
So remember this, Zechariah was a priest. He had a job to do. And verse 23 is saying when his job in the temple was done, he went back home. So whatever Zechariah's ministry was, he went back home. And what happened after he went home, after his ministry duty was done in the temple? Verse 24, go ahead.
And after those days, his wife Elizabeth conceived and hid herself 5 months.
So after he was done doing the work in the temple, what happens when your husband or your wife is gone away? When y'all come together, y'all have what? Y'all have relation, and John was conceived. So then she hid herself for 5 months after that, right? So now the story has moved from conception 5 months later. Y'all need to be writing these notes down. Go ahead, verse 25.
Saying, thus hath the Lord dealt with me in the days wherein he looked on me, to take away my reproach among men.
All right, so we now know that Elizabeth is now pregnant 5 months with John the Baptist. Verse 26, go ahead.
And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth.
So now in the 6th month, the 6th month of Elizabeth, now the angel has left and is now going to talk to Mary. Go ahead.
To a virgin espoused to a man,
Uh-huh.
whose name was Joseph of the house of David.
Yes.
And the virgin's name was Mary.
In the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy. Go ahead.
And the angel came in unto her and said, Hail, thou art highly favored, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women.
All right, so the 6th month of Elizabeth, the angel now, the story of the angel talking to Joseph and Mary, we know that now is in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, right? Drop down to verse 36, go ahead.
And behold, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age. And this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren.
Go ahead.
For with God nothing shall be impossible. And Mary said, Behold the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her.
So the angel departed from Mary in the 6th month of her pregnancy, of Elizabeth's pregnancy. But if you read the story, he just told Mary that she was going to have a son and his name was going to be called Jesus. He told her that, and she conceived in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy. So Christ is 6 months younger than John the Baptist. Y'all need to understand this. In the story of Jesus being born in the manger, you have to understand that John the Baptist is going to be born 6 months prior to Yahushua. Go ahead.
And Mary arose in those days and went into the hill country with haste into the city of Judah, and entered into the house of Zacharias and saluted Elizabeth. And it came to pass that when Elizabeth heard the salutation of Mary, the babe leaped in her womb.
So Christ is in Mary at this time. So when Mary comes up and says, Shalom, Elizabeth, John the Baptist jumps in Elizabeth's womb. Go ahead.
And Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Ghost.
Go ahead.
And she spake out with a loud voice and said,
What?
Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb.
How many of you women are carrying the Messiah or have ever carried Jesus Christ in your belly? So how are you blessed among all women? I'm blessed and highly favored. There's only one blessed and highly favored, and that would be the one that has carried the Messiah. She is the only one that is what? Blessed art thou among all women. She is the blessed among all women. But key notes to take away from here, Mary was conceived with Jesus in the 6th month of Elizabeth being pregnant with John the Baptist. So what do we need to know in our math equation? We need to know what time of year this was. Because we're trying to figure out, was Christ born in a manger in the middle of the winter in D.C. on the winter solstice? 1 Chronicles chapter 24. So it was something key that we was given in the book of Luke. We was given in the book of Luke in the 1st chapter of Luke and the verse, was it 5? In verse 5 of Luke chapter 1, we was given a clue.
We was given a clue in the time of the year that Zacharias went to the temple to do the office of priesthood. And it was that phrase. Can anyone tell me that phrase in chapter 5? Zechariah was a priest, but what was the phrase after him being a priest? Verse 5 says, of the course of Abijah. So one thing you would have to understand is that the course of the Abijah, you have to understand about the 24 priests that did the work in the temple. So let's find out about the priesthood and the work that they had to do in the temple. Let's go to 1 Chronicles chapter 24. Because whenever Zacharias went into the priesthood to do this work, he had to do it at the same time every year, all the time. So his wife knew, and everyone in Israel knew, that if you was of the priesthood, you had to go do the work if you was of a certain lineage. So let's find out about this. 1 Chronicles chapter 24. And we're going to start at verse 1. Go ahead, brother. 1 Chronicles 24, verse 1.
These are the divisions of the sons of Aaron. The sons of Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, Elijah and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died before their father and had no children. Therefore, Elijah and Ithamar executed the priest's office.
So we're talking about Aaron, right? Aaron's sons was given the priesthood, right? Out of Levi, the sons of Aaron, and Moses' sons was tied up in them, but it was really the sons of Aaron that was given the work out of Levi to do the priest work. Aaron had 4 sons, but you remember 2 of them died. Another story, which left him with Eleazar and Ithamar, was the 2 sons of Aaron that was left living, right? Keep going, verse 2.
We're on verse 3.
Right? Yeah, 3, go ahead.
And David distributed them, both Zadok of the sons of Eleazar.
So now we got the priesthood being established through Zadok, right? So it says Zadok of the sons of Eleazar. Go ahead.
And Ahimelech of the sons of Ithamar.
So Zadok, priesthood, Ahimelech, and their sons, right? Go ahead.
According to their offices and their service.
So there's different things you have to do in the priesthood according to their office and to their service. So you got Zadok and you got who? Ahimelech. Drop down to verse 5.
Thus were they divided by lot. One sort with another.
One sort with another. And Zadok versus Ahimelech and what their sons had to do in the temple. Go ahead.
For the governors of the sanctuary.
Some were the governors of the sanctuary. Go ahead.
And the governors of the house of God.
And the governors of the house of God. Go ahead.
Were of the sons of Eleazar and the sons of Ithamar.
Yes, sir. So they did the work in the sanctuary and they did it in the house of God, right? Drop down to verse 7. Go ahead.
Now the first lot came forth to Jehoiarib.
So the first son that fell in the first lot in the first month of the work, first week, is going to be Jehoiarib, right? And drop down to verse 10.
The 7th to Hakakos, the 8th to Abijah.
So on the 8th lot fell on Abijah. So Zechariah is going to fall into the 8th lot. So you got to find out what the 8th lot means. Because whatever the 8th lot means, that's when Zechariah had to go to the temple to do his work. I already have the notes here, and it's saying that out of the 24 sons, or if you keep reading from 7 all the way down to 18, you're going to see that there's 24 sons named. There's 24 names, right? And these lots equal a week. So all the sons that fall up under these names, they would have to go into the priesthood for 1 week and do the work. Well, we know that Zechariah's work was lighting the incense. So Zechariah was in the temple for 1 week lighting incense, and he was away from his wife. So when he came back after that week, that's when they came together and conceived and had John the Baptist, right? And so after the 24 sons, that's going to equal a 6-month period. It will start all the way over at the first lot, which is Jehoiarib. I'm going to show y'all that right now.
So let's get Josephus, and then we'll come back to Ezekiel. So go give me the book of Josephus, page 208. So we're going to come back to Ezekiel 44, but let me get the book of Josephus, page 208. Let's confirm what that lot was. So right now you got 24 priests. I got them on this slide. It may be hard for you to see on the screen, but we got from 1 all the way to 24. We're naming all the priests, and these are the sons of Zadok and the sons of Ahimelech. 24 sons. So these sons would show up and do their work within the temple for a whole week. And each of these weeks are all adding up to 6 months. Then it'll start back over. So get page 208 and read the highlighted section for me.
He divided them also into courses.
So these courses, and in the Bible it says lot, courses, lot, go ahead.
And when he had separated the priests from them, he found of these priests 24 courses.
24 courses, 24 lots. It says, in Chronicles it says lots, but course, go ahead.
16 in the house of Eleazar.
16 in the house of Eleazar, go ahead.
And 8 of that of Ithamar.
8 of Ithamar, go ahead.
And he ordained that one course should minister to God 8 days from Sabbath to Sabbath.
From Sabbath to Sabbath. So from Sabbath to Sabbath, the priests would show up and do the work. So Zacharias in Luke chapter 1 was gone for 8 days from Sabbath to Sabbath. He had to go in the temple and do what? Light incense. Do y'all see it? Go ahead.
And thus were the courses distributed by lot. In the presence of David, and Zadok, and Abiathar, and the high priest and high priest, and of all the rulers. And that course which came first was written down as the first, and accordingly the second.
Yeah.
And so on until the 24th.
Until the 24th course.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
And this partition have remained to this day.
Uh-huh.
He also made 24 parts of the tribe of Levi.
Uh-huh.
And when they cast lots, they came up in the same manner for their courses of 8 days.
Levi, right? Levi, which came Aaron, which came who? Zadok and Abimelech, right? Go ahead. And the only 2 sons that Aaron had left was Eleazar and Ithamar, which came Zadok and Abimelech. Go ahead.
He also honored the posterity of Moses and made them the keepers of the treasures of God.
So Moses' sons was keeping the treasures while Aaron was actually running the temple, cleaning the gold, lighting the incense, putting the fires out, making the purification water. Aaron's sons was doing the work. Go ahead.
And of the donations which the king dedicated, he also ordained that all the tribe of Levi, as well as the priests, should serve God night and day, as Moses had enjoined them.
Is that it? So from night to day, when you read in 1 Chronicles, if you start in 1 Chronicles and read 1 Chronicles 24, and you start at like chapter 23 and go through chapter like 25, 27, it'll explain David giving the assignments to all the people, right? What the king's sons are going to do, what the generals are going to do, what the Levites are going to do. It explains all of their work. So here's my point. Zechariah in Luke chapter 1, verse 5, it said that he was a priest after the course of Abijah. You can see by this chart that Abijah falls under the 8th lot, under the 8th course. Y'all see that? So if you go 1 Chronicles chapter 24 and start at verse, it names all the priests, all the way through 24. So 1 Chronicles chapter 24, we're just talking about the sons of Levi, which became the sons of Aaron, which became the sons of Eleazar and Ithamar. So you go 1 Chronicles chapter 24, and you could go to chapter verse 7 through 18, right? It names all these names you see right here. So Josephus says they all work from Sabbath to Sabbath. So in Luke chapter 1, verse 5, what it's telling you is that Zechariah, on the 8th week, which would have fell in the second month of the year, he would have been 1, 2, 3, 4. He would have, Abijah is the last week of the second month. So here's the question. The Gregorian calendar and all of that, man, it fluctuates and moves. The lunar calendar fluctuates and moves. So I'm going to keep it simple for you. John the Baptist was born 6 months before Christ. So let's just use what the consensus is in Judaism and most of the Hebrew Israelite camps. Let's just say Easter is in April. The New Year just started because Passover is 14 days from the New Year. So whether your New Year started in March or your New Year started in April, we're talking about a 2-month swing. The beginning of the year started in March or April, right? We agree. Gregorian calendar, Judaism, Christianity, Catholicism, everybody has Passover in April. March, April. So that's the beginning of the year, right? So in the second month of the year, we know what happens in the second month of the year. Let me go back up. In the second month of the year, on the fourth week of the second month, Zacharias went into the temple. So in the first month, you have what? Passover, unleavened bread. In the first month. So that's either March or April, right? So in March or April, you had all of your feast days. So the month after that, you're either in April or May. Zechariah finished his work, and then he went home.
Right.
Zechariah finished that last week of the second month, and he went home. 5 months later, or 6 months later, would have put you in
July.
May, June, July, August, September, October. So let's just say right here on this slide, in May, that next week, him and Elizabeth conceived. So him and Elizabeth conceived in the first week of the third month. So our third month is going to be either May or June. So in your head, just say May or June. You pick according to your religious calendar. May or June, Elizabeth was pregnant. So let's do the count from May. June, July, August, September, October, November, she was 6 months. So that means Mary got pregnant in November. So let's go 9 months from November. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. That's 9 months?
That's 9 months.
So Christ is either born in August or September.
Wow.
Based on your calendar, your Easter is every what? April.
That's right. Third week in April.
Third week in April.
Every week, every year.
Depending on, because Passover is 14 days after the New Year. So you do the math. I want you to do the math. 14 days from your Passover. Passover is in the first month of the year, always. Zechariah, in the second month, in the fourth week of the second month, Zechariah always went to burn incense in the temple. I'm trying to, y'all bless. Y'all brakatah. I'm giving you an example, sisters and brothers. John the Baptist was born 6 months before Christ. So there's a 6 month difference.
Right.
But in the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, Mary got pregnant. So whatever 6th month you come to with Elizabeth, that's when Mary got pregnant. You go 9 months after that, That's when Christ was born.
I need to bring it to August and September.
Do y'all see it?
Not in no name.
My question is, do you see it? I don't care if you're using the Gregorian or when the Christians have their Easter. I don't care if you're talking about when the Orthodox Jews have their Passover. I don't care if you're talking about when you guys in the truth have your. It's all in the same spring season. John the Baptist was conceived in the spring. Christ was conceived in the fall. So then, when were they born? It's flip-flop. If she got pregnant in November, or she got pregnant in December, Christ couldn't have been born in December. He could. You were in the 12 months incubation. What is it? 12 month cycle of pregnancy is 9 months. Do y'all see it? Rewind. Go back to Luke chapter 1, verse 5. Zechariah went to work in the temple for a whole week. When he came out of the temple, that he goes into the temple on the 4th week of the 2nd month. That's why knowing the calendar is so important. Because Zechariah falls into the 8th lot or the 8th course. Meaning he falls in the 4th week of the 2nd month always. And then they start over again from number 1. They go 1 through 24 priests, and then they start over again 1 through 24. Now you have a full 12-month year, right? Ain't that add up? Yeah. 24 priests, they work twice out of the year for a whole week. Right. And all Zechariah did was burn candles. But when Zechariah came out from his work, Elizabeth, he heard that the angel came to him, and Elizabeth, they came together, and they conceived, and they had John the Baptist. And it says in the 6th month, the angel went and talked to Mary. Mary conceived, and she ran off to talk to Elizabeth. In the 6th month.
In the 6th month.
Do your math. You might be confused with your Gregorian calendar. That's why the calendar is so very important when you start your year. Because the only way the priest could have been on a cycle like that routinely, the calendar has to be set. Y'all follow me, brothers and sisters? So this is the end of the matter. Ephesians chapter 4, last 2 scriptures. Ephesians chapter 4. And when Christ was born, it could not be December 25th, based off of what I just shared with you in Luke chapter 1, verse 5, 1 Chronicles 24, verse 7 through 19. There's no way possible he was born in the dead of the winter, right? Because what was our weather like in August, September? Was it anything like it is in December? Hot. Still warm, right? Season hadn't changed yet.
Nope.
In the fall. But you know all of the Most High's feast days that we read in Leviticus 23? They always fall in the 1st month of the year and the 7th month. Always. In their season, in their time, according to the Most High Yah, set it up.
That's right.
Last 2 scriptures. Ephesians 4 and 14. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14. Go ahead, brother.
That we henceforth be no more children.
Listen, sister, brother. Can't still be doing childish things when you know better. 'Tis the season. Be no more children. It's scriptural. Start from the top.
That we henceforth be no more children.
Go ahead.
Tossed to and fro.
You can't be confused and double-minded like, I don't know, I'm a family does, my job, my school, nobody's going to like me. They're saying I'm un-American because I don't keep Christmas and blah, 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 blah. You can't be tossed to and fro. You're either going to do what the Most High say or not. Go ahead.
And carried about with every wind of doctrine.
What doctrine? What? That's not scriptural. He was born on December 25th, in the dead of the winter. It ain't got nothing to do with Santa Claus, Christmas trees, elves, mistletoes. You can't be tossed to and fro just because your church is saying it to you. Listen, your churches are lying to you. They are the ones that have colonized your mind and keep you believing false doctrine. Go ahead.
By the slate of men.
Slate of who?
Men.
Slate of men have, what did the scripture say? Championed it.
That's right.
Our leaders, right? And our parents, our daddies want to sit on the deacon board. Our mamas want to be in the women's auxiliary. So they just go ahead with the lies. All these secret groups and secret organizations, everybody's in on the scheme to do what? Keep the people dumb and docile. The sleight of men, the subtlety of men. Surely God didn't say you couldn't drink a little eggnog and little honey baked ham. It's New Year's, you gotta eat some black-eyed peas. Who said? What scripture?
Okay.
Go ahead.
And cunning craftiness,
Cunning craftiness.
whereby they lie and wait to deceive.
These people just waiting to deceive you. As soon as you get off this lesson, if you took the notes that I had and you go try to tell anybody, send them to the scriptures, send them to the note. You don't have to worry about being ashamed. But you can't be tossed to and fro. You can't try to have your Christmas and serve God at the same time. You can't do it. Be not a little children, meaning be not immature with the scriptures. Once you know better, you do better. Amen. Last place, 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. This is our last scripture, sisters and brothers. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11. Go ahead.
When I was a child,
When you were a child, everybody lied to you. Mom and daddy told you somebody's coming down the chimney. Even when you didn't have a chimney, your gift still showed up. You believed all the lies. Go ahead.
I spake as a child.
Now, you spoke as a child. You was really immature. You repeated what everybody told you. Go ahead.
I understood as a child.
And you understood what they told you to understand. Go ahead.
I thought as a child.
Uh-huh.
But when I became a man,
When you was old enough to go read the Bible for yourself, read the manual, read history, you didn't only have to go buy a big old 24-set encyclopedia. It's all on the computer now. You can use your smartphone to be smart, and you can just look it up and read it for yourself and find out the origins and etymologies and the history for yourself. You'll find out that the history books in school, it ain't lining up with real life. You was a child, you accepted what was given. When you was an adult, you put everything you was taught to the test. And you did what? You became a man and you did what?
I put away childish things.
You should start putting away childish things. Jingle bells, 'tis the season, caroling, doing a whole bunch of pagan, druid, idolatry. Be no more children. Stop acting like a child. People will stop communicating with you as a child. Become an adult. Prove all things like the scriptures say. Study to show yourself approved. And quit walking around like you are crazy. Take those costumes and outfits off. Because we are the children of God. We never did these things. Quit trying to look like your colonized master. Now we are voluntarily stepping and fetching and coonery. We are voluntarily want to be the entertainment for master. As long as master happy, I'm happy. What's wrong with you? Well, what's wrong with me is I know better, and I know you should be dancing and entertaining for the master. You should be your own person.
Yeah.
Sister and brother, 'tis the season. Stop being a little child. Walking around like you're Holy Ghost filled and you so spiritual and you don't do nothing the Most High God tell you to do. You're very immature and you have not yet developed into that being that's going to give you salvation. And the whole goal of this is to what? Get into the kingdom and get true salvation. But I know we was all indoctrinated through what? Through church, through school, through work. Everybody's in on the gig. You just look at a Gentile and say, man, all of this stuff is fake. And they're like, yeah, I know. Why are you doing it? Well, they're doing it to keep us in subjection. We believe in a lie. They know it's a lie. They created a lie to keep us in the fairy tale land. But when we wake up, now you got to put truth on the table. And the truth is what's going to really make us free. And with that, sisters and brothers, I give all praise and honor to Yahweh, his son Yahweh Shai. I thank Brother Mike for his great reading. And we say, y'all bless.
God bless.